Hello everybody, this is Vinton, aka BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday, and more Apollo Justice is happening. Okay, so, where we last left off. In the last episode, we did the trial, and we have discovered that apparently Lavoir, or Lamoire, I believe is the name. Frig, everything immediately out of my brain. Why? Lamoire. She is apparently blind. No friggin' idea. And it looks like it's the opposite for our little defendee. So, we're going to try and find more things to investigate, and we're going to see if maybe we can crack this case. That is the plan. Let me go ahead and scale that down, and let's jump into the game. There we go. I don't know. Names. Funny enough, names is one of those things that I can't even get in real life. It takes me forever to remember a name most of the time. Oh, hey, this thing ain't on yet. Hold up. There we go. Great start. Oh, whoopsies. Nope, we want to continue. Look, we're starting strong tonight. How about that? And I was planning on making this a longer stream than we have been making the Phoenix Wright, or I should say Apollo Justice streams as of late. Good frickin' gravy. Okay, hold on one second. Let me just make sure everything is on and working. I believe so. Yes. Okay, I think the audio is leveled. I don't know. We've had several fails as of late for this stream. I just want to make sure everything's balanced and correct. I think we're good. So let me clear throat. July 9th, 2:12 p.m. Write anything agency. Hey, Apollo.
What?
Well, you know, actually nothing. I mean, something. Or maybe not.
Out with it, the dispense is giving me an ulcer.
Well, you know, the trial today, I was thinking, if you gave it a score, what score would you give it?
A score? Gee, I guess I would, or maybe, well,
you see how, that's why she was flustered.
But I'm just as bad as you,
See, it's so vague.
Clearly. Machi avoided a guilty verdict, which is something. Though I can't say I'm any less confused about the case.
I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. IPXX 314-206. The agent registered under that name was Romain Latouche.
And the victim, Mr. Latouche. Who would have guessed he was actually an undercover Interpol agent? What a mess. We don't have any idea what he was investigating.
Well, true, but we know who shot him now. Lamar told the whole court. Wait, that voice just now. It was him, I am sure of it. That voice I heard talking to Mr. Latouche when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him! It was Mr. Darien!
And I still don't know how the hell that works.
It's another mystery, Apollo. I love mysteries.
I don't. Speaking of mysteries, what's Mr. Wright up to? I wouldn't mind asking his opinion.
Now you mention it, I haven't seen Daddy around. I was thinking about that earlier, too. Like, for whatever reason, Phoenix is kind of up and out in this case. This is weird. What I assumed was that I really felt like they were trying to weed out Phoenix from the story, and they wanted to start off with somebody fresh. So I feel like they just had him in for the sake of getting people acclimated, but then people did not get acclimated, and they went, okay, let's add Phoenix back. And then Dual Destinies was the thing.
What? Is he some kind of stray that just wanders in and out at will?
I wouldn't say that, but he has been going out a lot. Some top secret mission, he said.
Top secret?
Anyway, you can't just rely on him to save the day. And you've got me to help you. We'll be fine.
Fine. Right. Well, time's a-wasting, as they say. Let's investigate.
That's the spirit. Okay. Well, let's ask about stuff.
Darien did it! Lamar dropped a bomb in court today. It was Darien.
Lamar said she never forgotten a voice, right? That's so cool.
I guess.
What's that called again? Elephant ears? That's what they're called? Somehow I don't think that means what you think it means. And she has to be wrong this time. Wrong? Why? I mean, look, those gunshots were right during the concert. That's right. I was burning up the dance floor at the time. Right? Did you happen to look up on stage? Maybe at Darien, even? You bet I did! He's one of the Gavineers' guitarists, after all. He's so cool! Oh. Right. All the Gavineers had a rock-solid alibi. He couldn't have shot Mr. Latouche backstage. But Lamar heard him, didn't she? She heard Darien backstage, right? Somebody's either wrong or lying very badly here. Yes, that is a good question. Now again, we keep seeing that one magician that just randomly shows up every now and then. I kind of want to know what the heck his story is. Anyways, Ancient Latouche, since I guess he's an agent. Interpol agent. It was Larry. God, I hope not. Yo, it was Jape the whole time. I was wondering, what is Interpol anyway? Interpol? They're the guys who catch international criminals. Why can't they just call them International Police instead, making up some silly name? Yeah. Anyway, nah, no stupid questions. You think he was investigating Lamar? What? Why would anyone do that? She's not a criminal. She couldn't be. Are we gonna find evidence to the contrary? I think so. It was walkie-talkie. I have no idea. I mean, it was a cloaked figure. I have no freaking clue. Pretty sure it wasn't anybody we've ever seen before. And if it was, that would be amazing. But don't be fooled by appearances, is all I'm saying. But remember, I'm a magician, Apollo. I could spot a palmed coin at 50 paces. If only it were that easy. In any case, we know he was working on something. I wonder if it was something that had something to do with something. That something being our case. The last something, I mean. Something like that. Frankly, the whole thing is making my head hurt. Sorry. My head hurt, rather, not yours. I know you're talking about the killer. I was just like, I'm trying to figure out who the heck that masked magician man was. What was Mr. Latouche up to? Ah ha 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 ha. Oh god. Is this gonna be... Dots? Trucy, was that another one of your tricks? It wasn't me. I can't even make Mr. Hat laugh like that. Yeah, you asshole! Who are you? Okay. And what kind of a voice should... I think I'm just gonna give him a magician voice. Why the hell not? Wherever the mundane gives way to miracles, a word is whispered. Great. Grammari? Grammari. Weird. Hey, the other day... That dude. Eek! Who's there? Gone. Didn't we imagine that, did we? He was wearing a silk hat. Friend of yours? Hardly! We meet again! Nice to meet you. Who are you? Could you please stop smirking like that? Yes, he's eyeballing us like no one's... It's just like there's no tomorrow. It's you! Uncle Valent! Uncle? Uncle Valent? He's your uncle? No, silly! It's the great Grammari Valiant Grammari. What the ever love it? Okay. Am I saying that right? Please tell me if I'm saying that right. It looks like Grammari. Friggin'. The Grand Magician! That's all that matters. He's the Grand Magician. Yes, it is I, the great Valiant Grammari, as seen on television. Could you please stop smirking like that? You say Grammary, you know what? I'm gonna go with that, just because that's easier. It's been a while, Miss Trucy. 7 years, to be exact. My, have you grown? Good to see you again, Uncle Valent. You look exactly the same. Just as pervy as when I was... It's like, when I was... How old is she? When she would have been like 8 at the time, right? Or something.
I hate to intrude, but what is a great magician doing paying us a visit?
This is a talent agency. I believe it was you who wished to see me. So, be quick with your questions. And do not quail, quake, or quiver. I am quite tame.
Well, shit, that's about all I can do.
Though my stardom may sear the sight, I'm quite down to earth when need calls.
He does have a certain aura to him, it's true.
Let's ask him about the case, Apollo.
His aura sure isn't lost on our magician in the make.
Jesus, I really feel like he did it. I'm scared.
She's practically drooling with enthusiasm.
After all, Uncle Valent's one of Daddy's best friends. That's why I call him Uncle.
What? Daddy? You mean Mr. Wright?
No, I mean my real daddy. Yeah, where is he in this picture? Is he just like
Run over by a bus? Trucy's real father?
Alright. So, yes. Hello, Grammary. Wait, Apollo. Don't tell me you don't know about Troop Grammary.
Troop Grammary?
No. There it is. Phonetics.
But it does sound kind of familiar.
Oh, lost life. Lamentably listed, lad. Do not know of the greatest trope of magicians on the planet? It's Grammary, eh? Okay, it is grammar. Alright. I was gonna say Grammaroi? Grammaroo.
Valet Grammary.
The name began to surface in my mind. Alright. I think I could remember that just by remembering the term grammar. And just equating it to that.
It was a name I'd heard on television as a child.
You bet you've heard the name! He made a cruise ship disappear and blew up an amusement park. Oh, and he made all this gold disappear from a safe. That sounds like stealing. And then escaped from a high security prison. Was that after stealing all the gold? You don't remember Apollo saying that? Hey, well, there we go. We get full view himself. Well, actually, come to think of it, I wonder if maybe they added that after the translation. Just being like, no one knows how to say his name. Should we address this, people? It'd be funny if they did.
Anyway, you said he's a magician?
I'm also a thief. There. I open the locks to hearts chained by mediocrity. This is the true miracle of Troop Grammary.
Wait.
What, Apollo?
I do remember seeing you on television a long time ago. Weren't you with someone else? Like a duo?
A duo?
Yeah, you had a partner. Something Grammary. Yes, Zach Grammary.
A masterful maker of magic, a capable crafter of shining showmanship. Okay, so I assume this was a part of some horrible accident. Did a tiger eat him? Was this like, oh god. Oh shit. Have their names really left my head that much? Okay. Old Las Vegas couple of guys. Damn it. They used to train tigers and stuff. That's what they were known for. And then one of them got, like, bitten and, like, mauled by one. And I'm pretty sure either got hospitalized or died. Siegfried and Roy! Yeah, thank you, Mario. Jeez. I don't know why. Like, I remember I knew Siegfried and Roy back when I was younger. And then I got freaked out when I was like, oh my god, one of them... Jesus. I guess you can't really control lions after all. Yeah. Anyway, you also say the word grammary was once used as a synonym for magic or sorcery. It's an alternative spelling of grimoire, which is supposedly a book of instructions to using magic. Ooh. That pretty good call by the translators.
Why is everyone so quiet?
I haven't been. I've been talking about Siegfried and Roy. Daddy. Oh, shit! No way! Wow, okay. That mystery solved. They're both alive? Do they still do the stage show, or have they gotten, like, very, very scared of doing the show after the accident? I seem to remember when it happened. Oh, God. I don't even remember which one was mauled. Shit, that was a long time ago. But I just remember they were both like begging not to put down the I think it was a tiger, and they kept on saying, "Please do not put down the tiger." They didn't know what they were doing. You know, they didn't mean it. It's like, eh. And I don't know what came of that. I feel like legally they have to if they attack a human being, which kind of sucks. Because, yeah, tigers are not exactly easy to come by. At least, like, not for the sake of stage show. Anyways. Once upon a time, Troop Gramarye included 2 grand magicians. Myself, Valiant Gramarye, and my partner, Zach Gramarye. And this Zach was he was my real daddy. Trucy's father? A magician. I guess it makes sense. Yes. I had no idea. I could take a guess. There wasn't much point in talking about it. Not now that he's gone. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's okay. I'm not lonely. I've got my daddy, after all. And you make me laugh, Apollo. Glad I'm good for comic relief, at least. Yes, yes. That is your job in this series. Complete and utter foolishness. Not that I see Daddy around much these days. I've been remiss in remembering my reasons for my visit. Reasons? 2, in fact. The first being, of course, to see you, Miss Trucy. You don't know how happy I am to see you again, Uncle Valiant. Yeah, I'm sure you are. Not one for modesty, or... Wait, not one for modesty, or... Son of a bitch. I just like that voice so much. When I encountered you at the Coliseum, first time in 7 years, I could fain contain my emotions. I wept oceans. And to learn you now defend that poor pianist, that blinded boy... 'Twas a hot topic of talk amongst the staff, you know. And defend him you did. Well, it wasn't all my doing. I'm his defense attorney, actually. Yeah, what am I, chopped liver? My other reason for coming here today was this. That's a videotape. How archaic. Quite so. A recording of the concert, no less. I brought it for you, Trucy, on behalf of Troop Gramarye. Will you watch it? Oh boy, what are we gonna find? Oh, I suppose we're gonna get the fire that takes place. Love how everyone's a 2D cardboard cutout in this cutscene. Oh, no. It's actually 3D now. How about that? It'll just sort of look 2D. Good on them for keeping the art direction. How pretty. I see a glowing what's it inside the guitar. Or was that... Or maybe that was just like a flare or whatever. Magic! Okay. I'm watching the guitar very closely here. Alright, yeah, it just freaking starts out of nowhere. And surprise, she's over there now. He's just beating it. It's like, no, stop this crazy thing I want off. Wow, it's almost as good as it was live. So, what's the word? Mysterious? There are more mysterious things than our song going on. Way more mysterious. This Valiant Gramarye has good reasons to be here today. But I wonder what his reasons were to be at that concert. That is a good question. Why have we all suddenly reconvened? But we have a tape now, so that helps out. Wonder if we're gonna get some sort of a tape rewinding function at some point during the court's proceedings. I feel like that would be a good use. Anyways. I mean, that's all, like... I guess I could present stuff to him now. If I really feel like it. So, I was wondering... That stunt in the middle of the song there. I didn't see a stunt. What about Lamar vanishing and reappearing? Oh, that... no, that was magic. Don't you know magic, Apollo? I'm literally right here in front of you. I guess I'm so used to seeing that happen I didn't even notice. So young to be so jaded. A simple sleight of hand, a petite prestidigitation. Oh, God. Prestidigitation. Prestidigitate. Oh, my God. I'm sure this is a simple word. I'm just freaking... Prestidigitation. Am I crazy? Is that a word that's usually in regular English lexicon, or... I don't think so. I know modicum is absolutely not. A modicum of magic from me to you. So that's why you were at the concert. Yes. I was there to watch my trick take to the air. So you're the one who knows how it was all done. Of course! I'm like a deity with the stage as my domain. I suffer no mystery upon those floodlit boards not grasped tightly twixt my fingers. It is a potent, primeval power I possess. Well, do you think you could tell me how it was done? Hey, now! Jersey, that's like totally against the rules, Apollo. Not during a murder investigation, it's not. None for my illusions are mine alone, monsieur. Also what? Recall that the terrible occurrence happened later. Well, after my illusion entranced the audience, rather. Oh. Don't even ask. I won't answer. Too bad for you, Apollo. Whose side are you on? Yes. I, Valen Gramarye, now make my leave, Miss Turcy. Oh, there's no need to rush, Uncle Valen. You should stay a while. I'm afraid I cannot. I may not. I shall not. I've been asked to assist with an analysis, so I shall slink back to the scene. So, you'll be at the concert menu today? Correct. If you would call on me, come to the Coliseum. See you later, crocodile. With a whirl of his cloak and a wink of his eye, he turned and walked out through the door. Normally. Well, there you go, Apollo. Let's get cracking. Right. Valen Gramarye. Got a few more things to ask him. Foremost among them, that bit of magic that made Lamar disappear. And how he knows Trucian, her real father. Did you miss that entire conversation that we just freaking had? I'm pretty sure it was obvious based off of the, like, tiny subject clues. Well, I'm really glad I actually tried to present stumping as opposed to just immediately jumping out and trying to, move on to other locations. You don't have anything more to say now afterwards, right? Nope. Apollo wants more information. Anything happening at the detention center? Let's see. Machi may not be guilty, but he's still a suspect. But they don't even have decisive evidence. Yeah, but only someone as small as him could have gotten out of that room. Right. The air vent. And he lied. Lied? Machi Tobai can see. Yeah, but we're not going to get much out of him if he can't speak. Or speak our tongue, rather. Machi! Speak of the devil. He looks like he's doing okay. Alright, sure. I forget. Why did we come here? It's not like we can talk to him or anything. Words are overrated. Feelings are what matter, Apollo. It's kind of hard to build a court case on feelings. But since we're here anyway,
Might as well get to what I want to say off my chest.
If you need someone to complain to, I'll listen.
I think she's actually worried for me.
I suppose we do work a lot in emotions and stuff. I mean, we could just try and, like, say words and see if our bracelet reacts. You can't remember if you told me the Borginian thing or someone else. I don't know, by all means. I don't know. What did you need to say about the Borginian thing? Okay. Yes, let's try and have a chat. So, what did you think of the trial today? He ain't gonna say shit. Whew, glad he doesn't understand English after all. I mean, he might. If he did, he would have been scared out of his mind by that trial.
Hey, all's well that ends well. You have to be more goal-orientated. If he's innocent, we win.
No, if he's found not guilty, we win. Machi might not understand English, but I bet he gets that better than you do. ... Blank can... Ah! Yeah, I figured.
Huh?
Yep. I'm glad Wamar testified. What a great person. She even got Machi off the hook by naming another suspect.
Darian of the Gaviniers, the detective. I wonder if Machi knows what happened.
Questions? In Japan, Edgeworth's second game has an anti-piracy procedure. If it detects piracy, all the text is replaced with Borginian. Oh my god. I mean, that's effective. See, that's creative. I like anti-piracy stuff that doesn't, you know, I hate stuff like De Nouveau and that bullshit anti-piracy crypto nonsense that actually actively slows down your system. I like anti-piracy that just screws with you. What was that other game? I think it might have been Gears of War. No, it was something else. It has something to do with like a gold chicken. Wait, was it a gold chicken? Or no. That was an Easter egg from Gears of War. I seem to remember there was an Easter egg where if it finds out that you have like a cracked copy, some really ridiculously powerful enemy spawns everywhere you go, and it will just like mop the floor with you. Like, I like that kind of thing. Not again. De Nouveau can get fucked.
I mean, if he could follow how the trial went at all, if no one told him there's a new suspect, how would he know?
Hey, what is it, Apollo?
No, it's nothing.
Yeah?
I must be imagining it.
Imagining what, Apollo?
It's just, I couldn't but feel that, I don't know, Machi, he doesn't understand what we're saying, right?
How could he? He's a young Borginian. He doesn't speak English.
Yeah, but my bracelet is reacting to him.
Maybe it's malfunctioning. Or it's scared because you keep making those I'm so mad faces.
Was I that bad? Machi lied about not being able to see. What if that's not all he's lied about?
If you're curious about it, there's only one thing to do. You should ask him.
I think it'll take something big to get him. Some kind of undeniable evidence. We'll be back, Machi.
Hidden behind those shades. Alright, what about, just saying about his eyesight? So, Machi, you can see, right? Meh. Machi can see, and Lamar can't. The whole world's gone topsy-turvy. Sorry, Apollo. I don't think we're going to get any information on Machi. Which makes sense.
Yeah, I guess it does.
I don't think do I have the irrefutable evidence with me? I don't think so. Unless this tape is somehow the irrefutable evidence. Nope. I think he said, I am sorry I cannot speak your language. You are very beautiful, fair maiden.
This is why I never trust a translator.
Yes. Have you seen some of the... Oh, God. We've had, like, several stories as of late where in the midst of needing a translator for, like, the news or, like, press conferences, we've had several times where they get sign language interpreters, but the sign language interpreters know so little sign language that they can't keep up with the they can't keep up with the person speaking, and they also don't know all of the sign language they need to actually interpret it. So in the midst of doing their sign language, they'll just throw in random nonsense to make it look like they know what they're talking about. And then a little while later, people will come out being like, I'm sorry, a big old portion of what they were talking about was sandwich, bologna sandwich. I'm very confused. And, you know, that's how you cause an uproar in the deaf community. Anywho. I'm going to go ahead and just present random crap to him just to see if he does anything. Probably won't do anything, but... No. What do you think about the dead man's papers? No. Does he know anything about the keyring? No. He's a hot DJ on his off days. Yeah, do you know anything about this thing, eh? I feel like he would if he ran from the room. No. I don't think we have the evidence needed to actually crack him. Oh, it's sorry, not earring. Yeah, my bad. Brooch. It's a piece of jewelry. Badge! No, he don't care. Oh, yeah, I said keyring, this thing. Do you know anything about the keyring? Nope. No, he has absolutely nothing. I have no freaking clue. This guy is such a blank slate. Like, I'm looking forward to when we can finally chat with the dude. That would be one big earring, half the size of Lucy's face. Or Trixie's face, sorry. Lucy. What the hell? I don't know. I've seen people with gauges and, like, crap in their ear and, like, ridiculous nonsense. I don't know why you would do that to your face. Just, you know, essentially putting a gigantic bolt through your nose, that kind of thing. That's creepy. And also, how the hell are you even gonna manage to get yourself a job with crap like that? Anyways, Sunshine Coliseum. July 9th, Sunshine Coliseum. Woo! What a great day! It's perfect weather for sleuthing. The weather matters for an investigation. Don't some days just feel like magic days or defense days? Sure. Let's get started, shall we? Right on! Show us your stuff, Apollo. What stuff? Your voice training. This is the perfect place for it. I did enough at home, thanks. There's no need to be shy. Keep that up and you'll never make it on the big stage. I'm happy in the courtroom, thank you. I am a lawyer. Then you're in luck, because it's lawyer's weather today. Don't you just want to face the blue sky and shout, "Objection!" Look, the weather has nothing to do with lawyers. Let's just get going already. Jeez, jaded, aren't you? Blue Badger! I spy with my little eye. What's that creature there? Oh, that's the police mascot, the Blue Badger. It's life-size. Haven't you seen them around town, patrolling the streets? Yes, now even Law and Order has a mascot. I'd run from that thing even if I wasn't a criminal. Why does its head wobble like that when it walks? It's freaky. I don't think you're showing true Blue Badger spirit, Apollo. Very well. Okay, can't look at rent. Oh my god, look at the blimp. Look, a blimp. Those balloons next to it have sponsors ads on them. Now, let's see. Big sale. All shirts 50% off. Oh, it's an ad for the department store next door. Way to be efficient. Okay. Then there's a sign out there. Actually, I think this entire thing is one big hitbox. Look, a massive sign for the guilty as charged store. A giant prosecutor Gavin stares out over the arena. Ooh, maybe I can take it to the office when they're done with it. Where are you going to put that shit? Exactly. He's like, where would you put it? You couldn't even get that thing through the front door. Then I'll put it outside. I bet it'd look good for business.
As long as no one comes expecting us to prosecute.
Well, if anyone comes looking for a concert, leave it to me.
Is this part of some twisted plan of hers to make her singing debut, I wonder?
No, that kind of reminds me, I ended up losing a really, really nice opportunity to get my hands on an arcade cabinet that had Street Fighter II Championship Edition in it. I've said this story several times on stream, but I'm reminded of it. No, I was just at a local pawn shop here, and it was something like $300. That's freaking good for, Street Fighter Championship Edition. The thing is, though, it was in a generic arcade cabinet, so I don't know how flexible and functional it actually was, but, I mean, it was still the Championship Edition board, so that was probably pretty freaking valuable. Thing is, though, the place that was selling it, I don't think they knew that. You love Trissy. She's adorable. Yes, she is. But no, I really would have loved to get that, but I was actually saving my money for something else. And then I was just like, okay, I guess I'll come back if it turns out I have some extra money and I can come over here and pick it up. Also, I was a little worried about where the hell I would put it. I have now adopted I've adopted the idea that if I find an arcade cabinet that is that good of a deal, and if I have the money, I'm picking it up. I'm sorry. I don't know how wise of a spending choice that is, but I feel like it would probably be better just to go and get it, because I went back a second time and it was gone. It's one of my biggest regrets. I'm not a big Street Fighter 2 player, but even I know, that's a valuable-ass thing. Oh, hello there. Ah, Mr. Attorney.
Lamar, I'm sorry about today.
There is nothing you need to apologize for. You were merely defending Machi. Are you okay? Alone, I mean? Humans are blessed with 5 senses. Even robbed of one, we get by. Though it does make being a witness rather difficult. Speaking of seeing, you knew who we were before we spotted you just now. And we weren't even talking. I heard your footsteps several times the day before.
Oh, wow. She does have amazing ears.
Oh, you must have great ears.
Ears that heard the crime taking place. Or so she claimed yesterday. But how?
Right. Some kind of a magical stand-in for a Darien. Or, if that's what he wants to call himself.
That was quite a statement you made today in court. About hearing Darien Crescen's voice at the scene of the crime.
I did not know his name, but I never forget a voice. Wait!
Lamar, is something the matter?
That voice just now! It was him! I am sure of it!
No way.
As I said in court, I was on my way backstage from the stage. That is when I heard his voice.
I'm guessing Darien and Mr. Latouche were talking about something.
The next moment I heard those gunshots.
Why didn't you call security?
To be honest, though the noise was quite frightening, I never imagined the gunshots might be real. And I was in quite a hurry myself. I left the scene at once.
Why were you in a hurry? Where were you going?
So, it really was Darien's voice that she heard?
Yeah. At least she certainly thinks it was.
Yeah, let's get a little bit of dirt on this bastard. I met Machi before my debut as Lamoire. I was singing in a restaurant, rather, not signing. That would make more sense if you were deaf. Again, I was singing in a restaurant in Borginia, and he was...
Wait, and he was playing the piano?
Yes. He was very kind to me when he learned I could not see.
Is that when you started playing opposites? With Machi pretending he couldn't see?
No, it wasn't then. That being after our major debut, after I became known as the landscape painter in sound. That must have been tough for Machi, pretending he couldn't see,
and all the while acting as your eyes. Image is everything, man, and having a blind pianist very clearly gets you attention. We held hands always. He would write with his finger on my palm to signal to me things I should know. He is a smart, gentle boy.
I think I see what she's getting at. Machi would never harm a soul.
Oh, yeah? Then why is he being so quiet?
About Mr. Latouche.
Yes, he was an Interpol agent, I hear.
So, you had no idea?
Of course not. No one did. I guess that's what it means to be undercover.
But someone was after him. They had to know who he really was.
Why did he pose as my manager? I do not understand.
You have no idea?
I can only assume that he was investigating me. But why?
What makes you think that?
Perhaps it is not so, but I cannot deny the possibility. Because of my condition. As my present is veiled in darkness, so too is my past clouded from memory.
Ooh. Didn't think about that. Yeah, she could have been someone very, very violent in a previous life. Clouded. Right. Darkness. Imprisoning me? All that I see, absolute no.
The darkness that I fear is not the darkness that I see whenever I open my eyes. The real darkness lies in my heart.
In your heart?
I have no memory of the time before I became Lamoire. I awoke from darkness into darkness, you might say. I was singing in a restaurant those days.
What was it that she said about not being able to remember the light?
I do not know my past. Perhaps I committed some terrible crime in my past. Everything before becoming Lamoire is lost to me. But I don't think you... I can think of no other explanation. Why else would an agent of Interpol approach me?
Do you think your past might be related to the case?
No way! That seems really unlikely to me.
It seems all of the likely to me. Are you kidding me?
I mean, you're such a sweet person, Lamoire! I thank you. Machi, too, tells me this often when I fear who I might have been.
Okay. Well, time to present some nonsense to you. Let's start from what you probably have not seen. We took a look at your performance again. It was even better the second time.
Thank you. That reminds me... That was an incredible illusion you pulled off. Illusion?
When you teleported from one stage to the other, remember?
Ah, yes. Apparently, they hired a professional magician.
Valiant gramarye. I was wondering, do you think you could tell us how it was done?
She's blind! How would she have any idea? I mean, if somebody explained it to her, I'm sure she wouldn't even figure it out.
In theory, I guess you could just, draw and connect the dots and be like, this is how so-and-so would happen and in some capacity, but it's probably even harder for her. Yes, I'm afraid I cannot.
Mr. Gramarye made me swear to never tell a soul.
I was afraid of that.
Hard to be a magician if you can't keep a secret, you know?
Okay, oh, God. Remember that one freaking show? It was just like the darkest secrets of magicians revealed or whatever the hell. Where like every episode they would show off all of these like little tricks and doodads and bobs of how magicians do certain things and basically breaking all magician code, being like, this is how you could pass a card through a thick piece of glass. Like that kind of nonsense. I remember really liking that show, but it also really destroys the mysticism for it. Yeah.
Ah, I am reminded that I wish to speak to you about something.
Yes?
When I was walking this hallway before, I stumbled upon a small device of some kind. It was lying on the floor.
Device? Maybe you mean this? It's been lying there since the day before yesterday.
Might I touch it?
I thought as much. What? What did you think?
This is one of our headsets. Everyone on staff wears one during a concert.
I wonder whose this is.
We use it for communication. It would be quite inconvenient should it go missing.
We'll hold on to it for you then. We'll give it to Prosecutor Gavin when we see him.
Yes, that is best. Thank you.
So, can I put... No! Are you kidding? Okay, what if that thing needs to be investigated and someone needs to find DNA on it? Do you want to try that? No, because then you are going to be a part of the whole investigation nonsense. Attached? I'm not some kind of robot, Apollo.
Everyone on staff was wearing one of these headsets. This might warrant some further inquiry.
Interesting. Do you know any more related to this thing?
Can I ask you about this headset, Lamar? You said that all concert staff were wearing one?
That's correct. You need them to communicate across such a large stage. Everyone on the staff had one, of course. And all of the band members, too, I should think.
So, Prosecutor Gavin and his lackeys had them on too, then.
They are quite helpful, though limited. They only work within 30 feet or so. After all, they're only for use on stage, and a stronger signal would interfere with the sound system.
That makes sense.
Alright, I'm trying to remember. Because I distinctly remember that thing was sitting there before, and I think it was making some very light noises when we were there at the time. I'm trying to remember what that was about. I don't know. Probably nothing.
You'd think someone would notice if they dropped their only communications lifeline. So why was this one lying here?
I don't know. Okay, do you know anything else about anything else in my inventory? Do you think you'd tell me about this?
I'm sorry, but my information about the outside world is somewhat limited. I only know what I have heard or felt.
Maybe that explains why she didn't react when I showed her stuff the other day. She was still pretending she could see then.
Ah, that explains it. And I guess that means pretty much all pictures are not going to be useful for this. Just like, look at this photograph! I literally can't, sir. You could screw around with a mixer. Yeah, there? No. Or brooch. Nothing about your brooch. Cool. I'm just going through this again, because you never know when one of these things is just spontaneously going to be different. Just like, oh yeah, that one totally works now in Phoenix Wright logic. Ace Attorney logic, rather. Sorry. I'm a... yes. Marioki. I'm a lawyer!
I'm sorry, what is lawyer?
Nope. Okay. I have no more reason to be hanging out here. Where should I go now? I guess I'll go down the list. Let's see what's in here. Nothing new to my knowledge. Yeah, I don't see anything particularly new sitting in here. To be fair, I set this game down for a week, so I don't even know. Also, you know, the game didn't straight up just bring up the little dialogue box saying just like, you know, this timestamp in this place, in this, in this moment. Like this, for example. July 9th, Lamar's dressing room. Oh god, no. Uh-oh. There's only one person I know who can munch with such venom. Oh no! What are you doing here? Hello, Emma. You're looking as grumpy as ever.
Oh, am I supposed to be happy? You give me the 2nd degree in court, and Prosecutor Gavin makes me look like a fool.
You're talking about the bloodstain Mr. Latouche left?
My department chief had a field day with that one. Even a blind person could see the shooter wasn't blind. Bloody guy, huh? But that bloodstain helped uncover the biggest mystery of all.
Now we know that Mr. Latouche was really with Interpol.
Wouldn't have found that out without you.
I suppose. Maybe that's why the chief gave me these after he was finished chewing me out.
Said it was my reward. So, does your chief literally pay you in snackoos? Because that doesn't seem like fair, a fair payment for investigation.
Are chocolate snackoos popular down in the precinct or something?
I was hoping we could check out the crime scene again. Be my guest. You're not going to find any clues in here. Though I did find something strange. Something strange, eh? Really? What strange did you find? Oh, okay, trial today. Fine, we'll get there. I met my embarrassment quota for the year. That's for sure. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? How? I mean, think about it. Now you don't have to be embarrassed about anything else all year. If only it worked that way. Just bugs me to think that little kid outsmarted me. And it makes him even more suspicious now that we know he could see. He could have seen the air duct, and he could have shot that revolver. But that's not how it sounded in Lamar's testimony. You mean her saying she heard Detective Darian's voice at the scene? That's alright. Why can't we have a normal, straightforward killing once in a while in this country? I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Yes. It's a little bit sociopathic. She is so frazzled and out of it. Whoa. Was that true what you said in court today? You know, about the case? About how everything was happening according to those song lyrics? The guitarist's serenade, you mean? I found the link, you know. Yes. First, Prosecutor Gavin's heart-shaped keyring was stolen. Then, Lamoire flew through the air. Then, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar caught on fire. And in the end, a bullet took Mr. Latuse's life. And he went up into the sky with a guitar. Well, 30 feet up at least. About as high as you can get without getting on an elevator and bringing him up to the roof. And launching him with a rocket. It's kind of hard to chalk it up to coincidence. I know. And I found it. You think the same person did all this? Don't ask me. I didn't do it. Neither did I. I couldn't fit through that air vent anyway. What? Y'all think I did it? I don't know. Can you fit through the vent? Nope. Crawl up there, Missy. We need a test. Sometimes I worry about that girl. Okay, something strange. In our neighborhood. So, what did you find? It's so little I must have passed over it yesterday. I found it under the What the hell? Okay, without actually skipping forward, let me try and figure out what this is. That appears to be, if I were to look at it, it kind of looks like there's some kind of like a speaker setup on the underside of it. That canister almost looks like a propane tank, but I'm pretty sure it's not a propane tank. And then we have what appears to be some kind of a switch. Oh, that's a CPU chip on the upper left-hand corner there. I'm not sure. Okay, if I had to take a guess at what this is, I would say... I mean, the first thing I think is it's an explosive canister, which that would make a lot of sense in... Well, okay, there were only 2 bullet shots, so that doesn't make too much sense to make noise. I'm gonna say... A listening device. What is it? Part of some device, I think. I haven't a clue what. The bit sticking out from the end looks familiar, so I had it examined. Turns out it's an antenna. Oh, like on a Beetle? Like on a cell phone. This device must use an electronic signal of some sort. An electronic signal, you say? Very well. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a listening device. I thought, yeah, it could be a speaker. I thought about that, maybe. Come to think of it, that might explain why it is that somebody heard Darian's voice. It was just a speaker being played just underneath a couch cushion or something. Maybe. Though, that doesn't make a whole lot... Again, the window was closed. How did she even hear him in the first place? It'll unravel. Before I go and show stuff off, let me ask you about this thing. Do you think you could take a look at this, Emma? Nope. Snackoos. Emma. More snackoos. Rate of chewing is increasing. Better back off before it's too late. Nope, I think I'm gonna drive her nuts with Sneckoos. Here. Tape. I don't know. Whenever I look at that bag of Sneckoos, the first thing I think is like a bag of Tootsie Rolls. Is what I immediately think. If it's some sort of a chocolatey snack and it's in, you know, tiny little rabbit pellets. Okay. I get the impression that none of these things are actually going to work. But I like to be goddamn thorough. Hey, look, a drink. Oh, hey, that actually does work. Shit. That's an Interpol issue revolver, right? Which means it belonged to Mr. Latouche. He must have had it to begin with. Sounds that way. So, if it was Machi, are we saying Machi stole it from Mr. Latouche? I'm not saying just a murderous child. Now that's really hard to imagine him doing. Really, an Interpol agent being completely upended by a child. Especially one as burly as that. Nothing. And then we can look at the lyrics again. Why did they have to commit their crime according to the song? Seems like it'd be more trouble than it's worth. Maybe they were trying to throw off the investigation? That's certainly possible, but risky, don't you think? Just carrying someone as big as Mr. Latouche would be tough enough. She may be a snacking fiend, but sometimes she actually makes some sense. Attorney at law! You know, you're a bit like Mr. Wright. He always carried his badge around too. Nah. I think he did it so he never forgot who he was or his duty as a defender. Something like that. Pretty noble, really. I guess that really isn't a need for me to carry this around. What seems to have made a decent impression. No, he liked to show off, that was why. Okay. So, yeah, this thing. I guess now I can examine this place again for the second time. Let's see. The murder weapon. So it belonged to Mr. Latouche. That thing makes normal revolvers look like water guns. Mr. Latouche was a big man. But how about the person who shot him? Wouldn't they have to be about his size? Perhaps. About his... Okay, and then there's the carpet that is gone now. Look, the carpet's been torn up here. That's the part we did the luminol testing on in court. Looney Mall? What's Looney Mall? It's luminol. Get it right. Oops. That was kind of scary when it comes to science. Best learn the word, not incite her wrath again. Okay, so we got the window again. Let's take a look and see if we really couldn't hear anything. This was the window where Lamar saw the crime from. I wish it was that simple. Kind of hard to see a crime when you can't see. But she did hear it. Yeah, but the window was closed. Maybe she heard it some other way? That's kind of the first thing I thought. Some kind of like a two-way receiver that was found underneath like a couch. A stack of presents for Lamar. Stars always get the biggest presents. You know, you can give me a present, Apollo. Why? Here, have a piece of candy. Gee, thanks! It's a Snackoo. It's been sitting in my pocket for the last 3 days. She must not get a lot of presents. Poor girl. This actually is separated a bit now. What about this? Oh, it's the guitar weight. Oh, no, it's a bouquet. All right. That's one heavy-duty bouquet there. I have trouble thinking of flowers as being heavy-duty. But they call lots of things heavy-duty. Not flowers, they don't. What about a heavy scent? I think you mean heady. What if the flowers were plastic? They still wouldn't be heavy. Okay, what if they were made out of metal? What? Like a magnolia made out of steel? Exactly! I hope all my fans don't start throwing metal flowers at me. I think I've actually heard of some ridiculous smiths being able to, like, make roses out of metal. Which is insane. Okay. Is this anything? I think this might just be the presents. Oh, that's one of those permanent dryers you see in hair salons. Is that what they're really called? Permanent dryers? Do I look like a beautician? I just know they're dry your hair and give you a permanent. Oh, it's a bro. It just doesn't sound very glamorous, you know? Okay, how about a perma machine? Or you can go more simple, like permer. This isn't a bad game, thinking up official names for things. Not that it makes the name actually official or anything. Okay, that's that. Is that everything in this room? Anything about the clock? Anything about the vents up above? And then there's a guitar case sitting in the corner. Can I... Okay, it's just the mirrors in the dressing room again, but seeing these mirrors lined up like that makes me think I'm really in the dressing room. Look at all that makeup. All I know is they sure don't make for much of a clue. I guess she's not into makeup yet. Marv. Okay. So is that anything? Well, okay. Is there anything on this side of the room? Like maybe the bullets have got something weird going on with them? Look at the way those bullets tore through the thick wall. The revolver really was something else. I wonder if someone as little as me could ever fire it. Dislocating your shoulder would kind of put a cramp on your stage career. Daddy always has stiff shoulders. Maybe that could loosen him up. Don't even mention it. I'm afraid he might go out and actually try it. Nah, he doesn't have the guts to pull a trigger, I bet. Yeah, no. Phoenix seems like he would be too much of a weenie to actually wield a real gun. And then there's the brooch from yesterday. Right after the shooting took place, Lamar tried to come into the dressing room and dropped her brooch. I think that fits with the other stuff we know. Do you think the timing of when she dropped it is important? Yeah, something about it bugs me, that's for sure. Apollo, you do it! Hell no! I'm not gonna get my arm taken clean off. Just for the sake of your satisfaction. Ladder. Shooter must have used that to climb up to the vent. All this tragedy because someone left a stepladder here. I don't think Mr. Latouche was shot because of the ladder. You think it was Machi? I guess. That air vent is pretty small after all. I'll pay you 10,000. Not even. Does that prove he was at the scene? Did he escape in the time between the gunshots and us opening the door? I guess. Now, I have never actually fired a gun, and I have absolutely no interest in doing so, because that just seems like a little bit reckless. I don't even know. I guess it'd be nice if I actually had the experience and know what the kickback is like on stuff like even something simple like a 9mm or just something like that. It's one of the biggest, most expensive looking TVs I've ever seen. Too bad you'll never. Oh, I think this is literally the exact same thing that we did before. And then there's the signs. I don't think the signs be any different. Fruit, probably not either. It's fruit! Fruit, Apollo! Fruit! I heard you the first time. Sure is a lot of fruit. I doubt anyone would miss a bit of watermelon. I know. I'll make it vanish. Into my stomach? Better not. They might make you pay for it. And if you have the money for this, you should probably repaint the office first. Watermelons are that expensive? They could have been imported from some exotic locale, for all we know. Watermelons. Straight from the Atlantic Ocean. Somehow. What about is the wine any different? Nope. Wine is technically fruit. I guess it's supposed to be, grape juice, I guess. What's this? Okay, alright, that's supposed to be the ladder. Yeah, it seems like everything is covered. I don't see anything different in here. Speaker for monitoring the stage. It was blaring at the time of the shooting. It's a pretty old model for such a nice place. I guess they don't care about sound quality back here, as long as you can hear it. Not that a loss of fidelity could possibly make that music worse. Good speakers must cost a lot. You have any idea how much a nice one that size would cost, Apollo? Probably a good 10 years of an allowance, give or take.
What? That's almost $600. $5 a month. Poor Trucy. Yep, all she can afford is candy. Wait till she finds out you need to buy 2 speakers for a stereo. Dang. Okay. Can we look directly at the vent? That's the air vent with Machi Debai's fingerprints. Meh. What's with the frown?
Can't a girl frown anymore? Is that a crime?
No, of course not. I just meant...
Machi Debai's fingerprints are on that air vent. Why would his fingerprints be there if he wasn't the shooter?
It's not a question I want to have to answer in court. Hey, wipe that frown off your face. What, a guy can't frown every once in a while?
One stick in the mud per crime scene, please.
I guess girls can frown, but defense attorneys can't. That's right.
How are Trucy and Phoenix still alive? I have no idea. I assume most of their money is going to food. Actually, no. Now that I think about it, they probably just scrounge around. I've known a few people that, unfortunately, they did live a very, very low life of literally going off to supermarkets and living off of the free samples that they give. Like, they would go down to the business section and they would just go down there, pretend like they're shopping, and try out free samples, and that's how they would get by. Like, it is sad life, that is for sure. Anyway. I can't find anything in here. And I'm pretty sure there's nothing over here. Eldoon probably gives them a discount. Oh, yeah. Living off of nothing but salty noodles. I hope for their sake the water in their area isn't tampered with. Alright. I guess there's only one place left. July 9th. In the wings. Ooh. That song. Isn't that the one Lemoire was singing?
Yeah, you're right. The Guitar's Serenade.
Wow. I'd love to do a show on stage like this.
I'd come to see that.
The house is full, and as one, the audience sighs with wonderment. There I am, singing my ballad, rose petals swirling through the air.
Not bad. Wait, aren't you a magician?
Oh! That's right. I was a magician, wasn't I?
Some dedication.
Hi! How you doing, dude?
Aha! If it isn't Miss Trucy! And indeed it is! Uncle Valiant! What exactly are you... Oh, wait, what exactly are you doing here? I take real responsibility in tasks undertaken. I'm inspecting my equipment of illusion to make sure naught is amiss.
Lamoire teleportation illusion. Ooh.
Should anything go wrong, it would reflect poorly upon me and my trope. As I went about my exacting examination, I happened to notice that piano. And I remembered that fair lady's melancholy melody.
Hey, Apollo, maybe Uncle Valiant can shed some light on this whole thing for us.
I don't know. What do you have to say?
I was wondering about the show the night of the murder. Lamar's vanishing act was your illusion, right?
Indeed. The Purple Prosecutor petitioned my performance. And the climax of the song, he said, make her disappear. Like a dream. Like a dream. Yet, what can I work with on a stage meant for musical endeavors? There are none of the conveniences of a stage built for sorcerous acts. It was a challenging task, and so I accepted. She disappeared from the top of the tower, but in order to move, you would have had to use some sort of secret tunnel. People come to me because I am a professional among... Okay, my illusions are custom-made for a time and a place. Now, because of the murder, all the eyes of the nation are on this concert. Not a bad thing as far as the fortunes of Troop Gramarye are concerned.
So, you were here checking up on your trick to make sure it went well?
And went well it did. Now, speaking of pianos, the piano over there troubles me.
It troubles you? Why?
Why?
Why do you ask why?
I think it's probably quicker if I just go check it out myself. Okay, I'll check the piano in a little bit. So what about you? I know what you're thinking in that head of yours. Gramarye, yes, you say. I recall seeing him on television. Something of that sort.
Actually, yes, you're right.
Wow, he just read your mind, Apollo! Meh. That's right. Oh, God. All right. That reminds me of those magicians that, literally, their magical spell is to be able to sit in a room, call out something that would be... like, I don't know if you've ever seen it. I think South Park made fun of this at one point. Just being like, okay, so I can sense somebody in this room that is thinking about the number 12 right now. Who is it that's thinking about the number 12? And then someone would be like, oh, it's me. It's like, yes, that number is of great importance to you. Would it be that the number 12 is that you're thinking about is because somebody you know recently had a birthday? And, you know, and then they lead it off from there, and just magically they figured out what their thought process was. And really, it's all like human psychology, entirely based off of that, and you're able to guess what people are thinking just solely off of the answers to you figuring it out. You know, I'm scared of pianos. Mario 64 scared me. Scarred you, rather. Family Guy parodied the King of Magic 2. It's an easy joke to make fun of.
Where everyone tells him that, and he made a good guess.
There we go. Nope, you got it.
It was 20 years ago. A young magician, a genius of his time, came down among us. His name was Magnifi Gramarye. It was he who began the great troupe Gramaryes. At his prime, not a day passed that he did not play upon the screens of every TV there was.
I do have a vague memory of something like that on TV.
Yet, several years ago, that time came to an end. My troupe pulled a vanishing act, yes. Cries for magic no longer heard. The TV screen a barren waste, stripped of illusion.
That's not true. I still went to all your shows. Like that one in the parking lot down at the supermarket. That is a very shitty show. When you start playing supermarket parking lots, you know you're in trouble.
We hone our skills at these small venues, always awaiting our time. Yes, one day we will rise up from obscurity onto fame's shining stage once more. I do this not only for the magic that is Gramarye, but for my partner.
Your partner? You mean...
Yes. Zach Gramarye.
Trucy's father.
Before he disappeared 7 years ago.
Disappeared?
There was no name higher than Gramarye in show business circles, none. I will see us return to glory, I, Valiant Gramarye.
Thought I heard something about he was dead. So he just straight up disappeared?
Our founder, Magnifi Gramarye, was truly a genius, a worker of miracles.
I'll never forget that one I saw when I was little. How he made that whole jumbo jet go, What happened to that jet again?
Apparently someone doesn't remember it well enough than they thought.
Of all the would-be magicians who came to his door, only Zack and I had talent. In no time at all, Valiant and Zack were the shining stars in the Gramarye crown. Cool, huh? And Zack Gramarye was my daddy. Now that Magnifi and Zack are gone, I have but one wish. Let it be I, Valiant Gramarye, who brings the Gramarye miracle back to the big stage. I'm rooting for you. Miss Trucy, you cannot grow up quick enough. I need your skill by my side. One skill coming up.
How do we manage to get off the topic of the case so quickly all this time?
Yes. All right. But before I go and inspect things, I know I need to do... yeah, okay, I'll go ahead and just present stuff. Words can express my shock and chagrin. All I can see before me is the stage, and me upon it. Nothing smaller, nothing less radiant catches my eye. True, you're getting on in years. Not much time to make your mark, yeah? This is not how I was seeing it. So he doesn't care about what I had to show him. I get the point. Don't have to be extravagant about it, you bastard. I was wondering about the stunt in the video right in the middle of the song. I didn't see a stunt. Oh, that. I guess I'm so used to seeing that happen, I didn't... Oh, for fuck's sake. Again, stop being so jaded. A simple sleight of hand, a petite... Oh, Jesus. Oh, wait, no. I think I already presented this to you. Shit. Yes. I was there to watch my trick and take the air, so can you tell me how you did it? No, he can't tell you how you did it. I remember this now. Whoopsies. Yeah, I've already presented a crap load of things to you. So, hey, I guess we're in the clear. Just as soon as I'm allowed to skip through your dialogue, which I can't. There we go. Okay, alright, let's actually examine now. I'll leave the piano for fairly last. Look at all the electronics. They must be sound-related. Doesn't seeing a bunch of machines like this make you want to just fiddle with them? Can I, Apollo? Please? No fiddling. You'll break something. If you're gonna make an omelet, you gotta break some eggs. That's what Daddy always says. These eggs look kind of expensive. Alright. Oh, screw it. We've seen all this other stuff. Piano. That's one big piano. I've never actually played one. You should get Mr. Wright to teach you sometime. No good. He can't play either. I kind of feel bad for the guy now. Maybe now's my big chance. Stand back. This could be the debut of a prodigy. Ooh. Ew. Did you make that noise just now? Let me try it again. Huh. You know, I think something's stuck in the piano. Time to take a look under the hood. Right then. What is it like a... Oh my god, it is a wireless... Holy shit. That thing triggers whatever the hell is... Ooh. Okay. I'm liking the setup here. Huh. Look, this is stuck between the strings. It looks like some kind of switch. Someone must have thrown this into the piano. Yep. So does that happen to set off a thing that sets off fire? Perhaps. Something tells me that that is exactly what... Okay, so... I can probably present that to you now. Oh, nope. I think I know who I am supposed to be subjecting that to. Hold on. Anything else to say, you bastard? No? I'll catch you on something. Okay. Oh, hello. Right, just passing through. Howdy! We got a thing for you. Do you think you could take a look at this? A small device. Looks like a transmitter. Transmitter? You press the switch here and it sends out a signal. No idea what it's for, though. A signal? You mean an electronic signal? What is it, Apollo? Say, Emma. You know that strange object you said you found? Oh, this? Let me try pressing this switch. Oh, God, yep, there we go. It's on fire! Emma's device is on fire! What's the big idea? Yeah. Well, now we know what this is. An igniter. This part here must work like a lighter. It nearly lit me up, that's for sure. Hey, don't look at me like that. I didn't do it on purpose. I suppose. At least we're getting somewhere with this case. Ooh, so somebody could have slapped this into the guitar, and at the exact right moment of the... My god, that has to be like a very little used part of the piano, that's for sure. And then the guitar just like sets on fire. But how did the igniter get inside this room after the performance? There. Hey, Apollo, let's ask Emma more about the switch. Now that she has some first-hand experience. Yes, thank you for the hint. I do like the little nudges. I do feel like, to an extent, I would miss one or two nudges, being like, hey, do the thing. What are you trying to do? Burn me alive? Come on, it was just a few sparks. It's just you. You weren't the one holding it. There's enough sparks flying around here just with you two talking. Anyway, now we know this is a remote for an igniter. Let me see that for a second. Well, this is definitely a little transmitter. Signal's weak. Probably only reaches 30 feet. A transmitter, huh? Okay, cool. Now that we know. So can we fingerprint this thing? Incidentally, if you look at a cross-section diagram of the stage area... Ooh. Let's see. 30 feet from Loire's dressing room. That covers the backstage completely. It also looks like it would cover the stage. Kinda seems unlikely anyone would use this on stage. Yes, so... I mean, it was in the frickin' piano, so... Yes, they would. Guess I'd best be getting on with my investigation. We're off to look for more clues elsewhere, then. I feel better just knowing what this thing is now. I'll have to look into igniters a bit more later. Good luck! I'd like to know a bit more about igniters myself. Alright. So, can I present that to you and know more information, or should I present this to somebody else? Nope. Nothing but snackoos. Okay, alright. I guess now that I have these things, I can present them to people. Let's try present some random stuff to you, eh? Yeah, sure. Nope. Her information is very low about... What about this? Nope. You don't know anything about layouts. Do you know about the igniter? Nothing. Crap. Alright. So, who else would know anything? I mean, I suppose... Mr. Magic Man, hey, how about that? Okay, nothing to talk about. Let's try and present these things now that we know a little bit more about them. Okay, nothing about this. Do you know anything about this igniter? No, no, he's pretty much completely swept his hands of all that nonsense. Pretty sure I also presented... No, yeah, I've already done that. And then everything else I presented there, I think useless. I don't think it would change at this point. You know, first thing I think is that maybe we have the proof that we need to be able to get a certain asshole to talk. To talk, rather. Oh, hello. July 9th, Sunshine Coliseum. Oh, hey, how's it? What, come to laugh at the murderer? Darian? That old bag opens her pie hole and wham bam, my life goes down the chute. Thanks. They won't let me work while I'm a suspect. Darian isn't the best of moods, is he? Not many people are these days, it seems. It is a crime scene, not exactly the happiest place to hang out. And yet, look at everyone back there. Then Gavin had to go rub salt in the wound. My alibi's rock solid. Rock solid! Alright. So, let's talk with you, I guess. He has got a hell of a getup, but yeah, definitely. Jacket in here. So, about your alibi. You have to ask? Shooting happened right in the middle of the third set.
That's right. The music was blaring when we heard those gunshots.
Hair kind of gives a different vibe. Okay, what freaking anime am I thinking? Because there's one in particular that has stupid hairdos in it. I mean, most of them do, but that in particular is really stupid. And there. I've got 10,000 witnesses who saw me too. Right there on that stage. The guitar playing was something else. Thanks, little lady. See? This whole thing's a sham. I can't believe they aren't letting me work.
There's no need to yell at me. It's Lamar's fault. She was the one who said she heard his voice at the moment of the crime.
Man, I never even talked to that old windbag. How could she possibly identify me? Alright. How do you know, Prosecutor Gavin? Or, you know, backgrounds or stuff. They won't let you work? He won't let me work. Gavin says I gotta lie low till the suspicion's cleared. What suspicion? You can't be such a stick in the mud. Mr. Gavin, stick in the mud? He may look all flashy and showy, but he's straight as an arrow, man. Except when he's depressed. You hear him whining the other day?
Oh, you mean the thing with the mixing board? And then there was that performance just now. What was that all about? This part is off. Which is that? Second guitar?
It
was you, Darian.
He's just a perfectionist is all. Not a bad guy, really. Well, I think the Gaviniers are the best. I have all your albums. Band's fine too. Gavin can write a good tune. I'll give him that.
Come to think of it, I haven't seen Prosecutor Gavin around much.
Oh, him? He's down at the prosecutor's office, most likely.
The prosecutor's office? Huh. Never been there, have I?
The data on the victim should have come in from Interpol. Normally, I'd be down there dealing with it. Normally. Apollo, let's go check it out. I've always wanted to see the prosecutor's office.
Maybe that's not such a bad idea.
Right on. Say hi for me, okay? No, and screw you. Cha-cha! And tell him I want into that crime scene.
We'll be going now.
Hey, wait.
Yes?
What do you really think happened, really?
You don't think I did it, right?
Well, great. I didn't steal a guy with some confidence. Just remember, I was ripping it up on stage when it happened, okay? Ripping. Don't get led astray by some siren song, eh? Get this one wrong, and you'll be eating humble pie for a year. I'll bake it myself. Yeah, my opinion on this case is twisting and turning every couple of minutes. So I don't know about this one. Let's not talk to him anymore, alright?
Detective Darian Crescend. He's one stone I'd leave unturned if I had a choice.
Alright then. Let us go. And I was thinking about making my way down to the detention center, but I guess, oh my god, I love this place. It's part studio, part, yeah. Yes, it's got business papers, business inquiries. Look at that freaking set. I would love that freaking setup. Are you kidding me? It's amazing. Prosecutor Gavin's office. So, this is it. That is one burnt-ass guitar. The Gaviniers' head office.
It's not the band's office, it's the prosecutor's office.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. What is this creepy thing? Object? Whatever.
Looks like Prosecutor Gavin is on the phone.
Oh, well, guess we'll have to come back. Or we can hide behind that bookshelf real quiet, like...
That's eavesdropping.
Why? We'd just be waiting. Quietly. So he didn't notice. What if we heard something scandalous about the band?
She'd make a good reporter for a gossip mag.
Yes.
What? A replica? So, why was he after it in the first place? Yeah, Latouche.
Latouche?
Look, don't talk to me about those Borginians, okay? Just get me the report. Chop chop. And stop leaving mysterious objects in my office, okay? It's times like this when I start to Mysterian. Wait,
Eavesdroppers! Hiya! T. Just thought we'd drop in. Hope you're not mad. Cool and calm as always, eh?
How could I be? There's not enough tee-hee in the world in any case. Have a seat.
Prosecutor Gavin's the philanthropist. Watch and learn, Apollo.
So, who have you come to see? Clavier, lead vocalist for the Gavineers? Or Prosecutor Gavin, scourge of the courtroom?
What do you think he means, Apollo? I think he's giving us a choice. We can either ask him about the concert or the case. Which way to go? Interesting. Can we do both, please? You are one man. Straight as an arrow, not according to shippers. Ugh. Great. Okay, so case, guitar, Sharon. Alright, let's talk about the case first.
Oh, that reminds me. Did you see the paper today?
Yes! I always read the TV section.
Good girl. How about you, forehead?
I read the funnies. I read nothing but the comics in the back.
Then you will not have seen this.
Concert of Tragedy, the prosecutor's deadly song. Oh, is that a new show? I haven't heard that about that one. No.
It's not a show. It's an article. News, you know.
Oh, does this have anything to do with the case? It has everything to do with the case.
Since getting back from the trial, my phone has been ringing off the hook. How does it feel to take a man's life with a song? Have you ever hummed a man all the way to death row? Do you think you could sing for me over the phone? It is endless. Endless. Thanks to the case you made today, of course.
Oh, that was all Apollo's idea. Hey! Is that a newspaper over there, too?
Yes, the Borginian Daily Bugle. Go ahead, take a look.
Oh boy, I'm sure they're probably not happy. Thanks, but I can't read Borginian.
No, that's right. Suffice to say, this is a big news over there as well. Though, they didn't go so far as to mention the lyrics to my song.
Probably no one in Borginia could believe it.
It's probably seen as just a theory at this point. Their journalists didn't see the need to mention it.
That makes sense. I hardly know what to think of it myself. Alright, we have a strange newspaper that we can't read. What? Maybe the picture on the front will do something for me. It's about the gist of most newspapers, just like, ooh, that's pretty. Whatever.
Lamar's testimony will probably be in the evening edition, I'd imagine. Which is why I have had Darian step down from the investigation for now.
Yeah, we ran into him moping in front of the Coliseum.
Lamar was my invited guest, so it is a rather delicate situation. You understand how much I want to solve this case? Quickly, if possible?
Alright, so let's talk about the show now. I really love that song. It has such a great atmosphere to it. You co-wrote it with Lamar, if I remember correctly.
That's right. It was last year. I'd gone to tour Borginia's legal system, as a matter of fact.
And that's when you heard Lamar's voice?
I was at a small jazz club. I wept that night. I knew I had to meet her, to talk with her. So I used my influence, which is not inconsiderable, to arrange a meeting.
Wow, prosecutors really have a lot of clout. I thought he's sort of a special case, Tracy.
Thankfully, she liked the work I did, and we wrote a song right there backstage. Machi on piano, that dulcet voice, and myself on a guitar that I borrowed from Lamar.
And music history was made. Probably not an experience your average lawyer would ever have. Like Apollo, say.
It is a memory I hold dear, and the song we wrote that night was this. And that very guitar is right over there.
You mean the charred lump? Don't call it a lump. That's a piece of history. And it's only brown, not really charred. I don't know. It looks very charred to me. The fact that it basically doesn't have a neck anymore is a good testament to that. There.
No matter. I shall never sing that song again. I wouldn't have used that guitar again either, even if I could have.
What happened during that song anyway? Why did this guitar suddenly But motherfucker! Put two and two together. I don't know. I know you're supposed to figure it out yourself. Like that's supposed to that's what's supposed to make you feel good about just being like, I solved that story. I solved that thing in the game. I is smart. I don't know, that one seems very obvious. Do you think you could show it to us? Your charred, I mean, slightly burnt guitar. I'm sure he doesn't mind. What more could happen to it? Okay, so I guess we can examine it. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I want to look around at this place. It looks very nice. Once again, I love pretty much everything going on here. Like, two gigantic screens. My current setup, again, a fairly modest chair. And he has 3 monitors in here. That one, and that one. I have 3 monitors, except 2 of them are regular, like, 1920 by 1080 screens. And then one of them, which is currently sitting the chats and the stream window, is the one right dead dab center in the middle. It's nice. It's very slick. I like it. Anywho's, so I'm going to go ahead. Let's look at this monitors, though. This display shows all the evidence for the case. Look, Apollo! He's got 3 televisions!
Hey, don't look at those too closely. I'm still sorting out the details.
Each monitor shows evidence for a different case. He does them all at once? Frickin' prodigy. I wish I had 3 TVs. What would you possibly do with 3 television sets? I may look back and relaxed, but in reality, I'm quite busy, you know. I'm living life at turbo speed, doing magic, going to school, investigating cases. But if I had 3 big TVs, I could watch magic videos, do my homework, and catch a crime drama all at once. The first 2 seem useful, I suppose. Yes. So then we have, like, guitar-type stuff and chairs. What's that on the plate there? Is that gum? Gum. Maybe he was chewing it when the phone rang? So he put it on the plate for later consumption? You think a rock star could afford a fresh stick?
Don't jump to any conclusions now. It's no chewing gum. Take a closer look. Although I really shouldn't be offering, should I?
What is that? Looks like a lump of plastic. Wait, that phone call?
Yeah, so that's why I'm asking. What is this creepy thing? Object, whatever.
Looks like Prosecutor Gap. I love how we're being reminded of a phone call we just did.
What, a replica? So, was he after it in the first place? Yeah, Latus.
Prosecutor Gavin, does this have something to do with Mr. Latus?
Wait a second. You were listening to my phone call, weren't you?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, us? Oh. I tried to stop him, really, but he forced me to. Hey, you were the one digging for a scandal, Miss Reporter.
To tell the truth, I'm not even sure what it is. But apparently it's a model of something undercover agent Mr. Latus was after.
I think he's mainly meaning, why was it there in the first place? Okay. This lump. Would you mind telling us what you do know about it? Cool. I think we opened up a dialogue. Chair. Yep. That looks like a Super Lounger 95. What's wrong, Apollo? You look confused. I was just wondering where the work chair in this office was.
You're looking at my favorite chair right now.
That's a massage chair, isn't it? That is an ergonomic, adjustable office.
I love the ones with the vibrating rollers in the back. Those feel great. Did I say something wrong?
No, I merely realized the futility of an explanation.
No, I get it. I think nowadays a lot more people are more in tune to weird stuff like this, just being like, it's an ergonomic airflow with several different adjustments to both your height and also the, I don't know, maybe it's the fact that I've actually done the research on this stuff. I like decent chairs.
The view is exhilarating, huh? I sit here, gazing upon the city, writing my songs.
Try working on cases.
It does the same thing. I write lyrics the same way I corroborate evidence. It is a harmony between the logical mind and the primal spirit within.
Is it so hard to admit that you like staring out your window and daydreaming? Meh, you have the right to do that. There's a whole bunch of cases. Look at all the guitar. Whoa, oh, okay. Apparently we're not going to be looking at the bookshelf. Gotcha. Look at all the guitars. Why so many? Hey, no one guitar sounds the same, mister.
You can never have too many guitars. They are like my lovers.
I don't want a picture of that. I do not want to know what you do with your guitars in bed. I did not just hear him say that. They're backup guitars, Apollo. Don't you know anything? Rock and rollers always smash the guitars at the end of a show. I mean, usually you don't have those framed anywhere. No wonder it's so hard to make it as a musician. You know what? You should try rocking a little, Apollo. And breaking his guitars while he watches? That might be a little too rocking.
Of course. I would never do such a thing. Did I not say they are like my lovers?
Yes, you'd smash your lovers across the floor on a constant basis. That's how it works, right?
Do I seem like the kind of man who would do such a thing to the ones he loves?
No, not at all. I mean, you're Mr. Gavin, upstanding prosecutor. What happened to Prosecutor Gavin, God of Rock? Meh. Same thing. Anything else? Paperwork? There's some paperwork down here. Wow, look at that. Oh. Yeah, that would be a pretty big stereo. Quite. Actually, coming to. Is that a stereo? I think it's just one gigantic speaker.
To me, a life without music is inconceivable. I never turn down the volume, even when I'm working on a case.
That's such a huge speaker. It must be really loud.
This room is completely soundproof, of course.
Really? At my place, I can hear when the neighbors turn their VCR on to record something. Maybe you can get Mr. Wright to talk to them. We'll work something out. And lately, we've been getting complaints about Apollo's voice training. Maybe I'll go have a word with Mr. Wright, too. Okay, alright. Elephant in the room. That was an impressive bit of pyrotechnics that did this. Nice guitar from the concert, isn't it? Yup.
I thought it was one of the staff playing a prank on me. I never guessed that wasn't the end of it. I had a specialist analyze the guitar, incidentally.
Oh, did you find anything out?
He didn't have a lot of time, so it's still unclear. But the results he came up with were intriguing.
Intriguing? How does the guitar tie into everything that went on? My God. Sounds like something we should ask about. Okay, so we're just going to ask about it. We're not ready to present the little smoking gun? Sure.
It was a beautiful instrument. It was played lovingly for many years. A guitar befitting of women like Lamar.
How did it end up here?
She gave it to me. I mentioned how much I enjoyed playing it that night, and she made a present of it.
So this guitar is from Virginia?
That it is. We couldn't carry it on the plane. Changes in air pressure and humidity ruined the wood.
Oh, you stuck-up bastard.
So we vacuum packed it in Lamar's studio. I used a special shipping service available for me for transporting the evidence. They brought it right up to my office for me. Pristine and untouched.
See, prosecutors do have a lot of clout.
I still think he's a special case.
Such a valuable guitar. It's too bad it got burned.
Yes, sir. What was it that you were saying earlier? Something about intriguing results from an examination of the guitar?
That's right. What was that all about?
Well, you know how guitars have a round hole in the front? It is called a sound hole.
Very blunt terminology, but yeah. Oh, so that's what it's called.
Well, they found something attached to the wood just inside the hole. A broken device of some sort.
A broken device?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'll do it. And we have an exact copy of. All right, so that explains why one of. Yeah, that's how it managed to get into the dressing room. But that implies that in some capacity, that thing was hidden underneath something. Somebody was going to use that remote, and they were going to set something on fire. Oh, that would have been bad.
The examiner is busy with evidence for the case now, however. So he'll be checking this out once he's finished with everything else.
Odd. That device looks strangely familiar.
Mm-hmm. A strange lump. What is? It oddly looks like it's like the globe except in the shape of a freaking egg. Or a larvae. That too.
This was found in Mr. Latouse's bag. It's apparently a replica of something.
A replica? It's a small lump, about 1.5 inches long.
We analyzed it, but there's not much to say other than it's a lump of plastic. Perhaps it was to be used in the identification of whatever it is a replica of.
You mean whatever Mr. Latouse was after?
That seems to be the most logical explanation.
Well, what is it?
Don't ask me, Farline.
No, if you don't want to tell us, you could just say so.
I've put in a request to Interpol via my contacts in Borgina. But apparently there is a block of information somewhere along the chain.
Oh.
There's something either Interpol or Borgina doesn't want to share. Something about this little piece of plastic.
That is strange. Maybe it's used to mold the key to Virginia's vaults. I don't know. I'm stretching. Mr. Latouche went through all the trouble to become Lamar's manager, just to come to this country to find out more about this lump, and he died for it.
I've sent someone to the Coliseum to fetch Lamar. Perhaps he knows something about it, being a Borginian.
I don't know. But now it's time to present some nonsense. I'm trying to remember how much stuff we've presented to him thus far. Okay. Pretty sure up to this point we have not presented anything to him, so...
My apologies, but there's no way I'm going to talk details about the case with you. If you want to get my attention, bring me something dramatic.
I'm not here to get your attention, Gavin. I'm here to get your information. Okay. Well, what about this thingy?
That looks like one of our tour-issue headsets. Why are you wearing it, Farline?
I thought it'd be cool. I could pretend I was concert security and stuff. Actually, we found it at the venue and thought you might want it.
Oh, no, please, you keep it. It goes well with your cape, Farline.
Tee, you think? She does look like she belongs on a stage, that's for sure. And I don't think that microphone's doing anything else for it. So, let's just start with the remote trigger. Prosecutor Gavin, about this remote. Wait!
Excuse me, did you say something?
This remote control might be valuable ammunition for the trial tomorrow. Oh, okay. Thank you, game, for holding back it. Yeah, now I know that's apparently ammunition. It's too early to show my hand now.
You would think someone with such a loud voice would speak more clearly, huh?
Okay, fine, here.
has to be one of these.
What is it, Apollo?
That device that was found in your guitar. Take a look at this.
Why, that looks like the same thing. What is it?
It's an igniter.
Another one?
It was at the crime scene, in Lamar's dressing room. Detective Sky found it, actually.
At the scene of the crime? What could that mean, I wonder? I believe that covers everything at my lab. I'm at liberty to talk to you about.
Oh.
Thanks for dropping by. Airforehead.
Thanks.
Why, you gave me so much information. That igniter, for instance.
Oh, that.
I've never met an attorney so forthcoming with the prosecution. It's a big help. Or perhaps you're just a tad naive.
I guess I could have hit it, but somehow showing it felt like the right thing.
Yeah, but you kept yourself from showing the freaking ignition system. So, yeah, not really.
I could say the same to you, Prosecutor Gavin. Here. Thanks for the information. About the strange lump of plastic. The one that Mr. Latouche was investigating.
Hey, that's right.
I've been thinking, Airforehead. We encounter many incidents in our lives, all of us. Not all of them simple.
Especially not ones where people are killing to song lyrics.
This is why I try to at least remain simple inside. And I keep a simple goal. To discover the truth.
Mm-hmm. I got the gist of that. It seems like he's not directly out for the sake of killing the opponents.
That's why I like to keep relations civil, yeah? That is all.
I can live with that. Master Prosecutor?
Fraulein?
Can I ask you why you sing in a band?
Oh, because I want women to turn and look when I walk down the street.
Great. Simple enough. Yep, that's pretty simple too.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got work to do. Another time, perhaps?
See you later, mystery man. Okay. So, got all of that stuff done. We have found an igniter. Well, okay, let's look at our evidence real quick. We got a lot of smoking guns on our hands at this point. I think. A lot of things I feel like we could probably go and present. So, I don't know. I guess I'm going to head over and see if maybe we can talk with him. July 9th, Detention Center, Visitors Room. Looks like Machi's in questioning. Huh. The police must have a Borginian interpreter. That's not fair. I wish we could talk to him. I guess we'll just have to come back later if we want to see him. I guess so. Crap. Alright, fine. Fine, yeah, shit. I guess that means we gotta move over to the Coliseum. Find more things. Find more smoking gun. Oh, hello. Oh, it's you. You came at a good time. Hello there, Emma. What's up? Either you know where Lamar is? Well, I saw her in the backstage hallway a while ago. Yeah, that's strange. What's strange? I can't find her anywhere. I was supposed to bring her to the prosecutor's office. Lamar's missing? It's hard to imagine her wandering off somewhere on her own. Being that she's blind and all. Yeah. We'll help you look for her. I'm starting to doubt that. There's something that tells me that neither of these idiots are in any way, stopped by any kind of actual problems. Yeah, all right. Well, where would she be hiding at this point? Backstage hallway. This place is deserted. I wonder where Lamar went off to. I'm sure she's okay on her own. She seems resourceful. I guess, but I can't help worry about her a little. I don't think she'll probably be in her own frickin' room. Okay, she's not in here. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Nope. Oh boy, what are we gonna find? We're gonna find something horrible. On stage. Is she going to be dead now too? That would suck. Huh? The stage is pitch dark! Power breaker must be off for this section. Great. I'll go get someone. Oh, thank you. Yipes. It's really dark out there. Dark. Well, that's all Wamar has, when you think about it. What would it be like to live in a world of darkness? I don't know. It sounds creepy. I was thinking about that the other day. Just if you had any of your senses no longer available to you, because like any one of them could potentially not be working. Whether it be like your sense of touch, smell, sight, sound, or heck, like just I know like some people have some problem with equilibrium. That's another thing, where just you don't really have very good handle on your equilibrium, and you have difficulty just moving from place to place and just moving yourself. Hey, Apollo.
What?
Doesn't something about the stage seem different to you? Like something's changed? Oh, I see. There's a thing lit. Wait, nope. Nope. Actually, no. I don't know. I can't really see it.
Changed?
I can't put my finger on it, but it's bugging me.
Now it's bugging me too. What's she talking about?
Uh-oh. All right. What would be different in here? Computer system seems the same.
Is it the piano?
What do you think that thing was doing in there? Throwing things inside pianos can't be good for them. Not to mention you wouldn't be able to play whatever notes go with the strings it was on. But the piano was fine during the concert. That must mean it was thrown in here after Machi played. So maybe someone threw it in here after the second set? I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, what's the... Wait. Was this thing always down? I still can't believe we found Machi and Mr. Latouche up on top of that tower. Yeah, I used to not like high places. Now I hate them. It's not like it would have been nicer if we found a dead body closer to the ground. Though, that reminds me, Daddy's bad with heights too. Yep, he kind of fell off of a bridge. Huh, no kidding. He took me on a Ferris wheel ride a week ago. Oh, no, a while ago. Wow, just a week ago. We were at the circus. A while ago, you know. Halfway through, his face got all green, and he mumbled, "Objection," over and over. Poor guy. Okay. I mean, is the sound system screwy? No. None? Okay. The dialogue seems entirely the same, so I don't think anything's been fiddled with here. Different, you say, eh? Is this case back here different at all? Hey, that case. Wasn't that open before? Oh.
I guess someone closed it.
Wait. Look, where the case closed.
Something's sticking out that doesn't look like an instrument. You don't think it's...
Let's open it, Apollo. Oh, god damn it. Eek! Lamar! Lamar! Emma! We have to get Emma! Why didn't she follow us? She's got nothing happening.
Lamar was taken directly to the hospital. Emma ran around, barking orders, making phone calls. Trissy just clung to my arm and cried. And me, I was still in shock. 2 bodies in 2 days is too many.
Oh boy. July 9th, 5:53 p.m., Hackfield Clinic. Emma! How's Lamar? Is she okay? You. We all owe you big thanks, that's for sure. So, she's okay? Yes, she came to us a short while ago. You found her before it was too late. That's good to hear. So, what happened? Someone attacked her. She was struck on the forehead. By who? We don't know. But they hit her on the forehead, right?
That's right in front of her. How could she not see? Oh, yeah, exactly. Right. Would you like to see her now? Is that all right?
She wants to thank you for saving her life.
Lamar!
Mr. Attorney, you were the one who found me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I'm just glad you're okay. Tell me, what happened?
I don't even think she knows. Unless she was able to hear in some capacity.
Anyways, yeah, let's chat.
It was after I spoke with you in front of the dressing room. I sensed someone approaching. I thought it might be someone come to see me, but they said nothing. When I went to return to my dressing room...
You were hit?
I knew, that very moment, I knew the assailant was trying to kill me.
Yeah.
It was lucky for me the first blow did not knock me out. I turned and ran for the stage. Someone was chasing me. I could hear footsteps. Yet I reached the stage first.
Why the stage?
I had overheard maintenance people talking. The power to the stage area was off, they said, for electrical work. Darkness is my ally. There was a contrabass case near the stage. That is where I hid.
So the assailant couldn't see you?
Once in the case, I'm afraid I passed out.
Wow. Sounds like a real close call.
I don't know. Something's fishy about that.
Do you have any idea who it might have been?
Unfortunately, no. Whoever it was, they said not a word.
Too bad.
Yet, when I consider that I was struck high on the forehead, I must conclude that whoever hit me was taller than I am.
Good point. She's sharp. Either that, or it was somebody who has obnoxiously long arms.
And you're much taller than I am. You're about as tall as Apollo.
So that means it was likely an adult and probably a man. Could it be him? But why would anyone attack you, Lamar?
The detective asked me this too. And to her I gave the same answer I give you. I do not know.
Alright. I feel like I don't need to present anything to her, but yeah, whatever. Maybe I can figure this out. Replica? Lamar, I wanted to ask you about this. Do you know what this is?
This is what I cannot see.
Dumb. Mr. Latouche was carrying it. It's a replica of the thing he was after.
He was after?
You know, in a secret identity. As an undercover agent.
So that's what he was doing.
You mean, you know what?
Yes, I know, of course. This must be a Borginian cocoon.
Are Borginians born from cocoons? What the heck is...
Or rather, a convincing replica thereof.
Why haven't I heard of a Borginian cocoon before? Why would he be carrying this around? What, some kind of souvenir?
I wonder.
Okay, I assume, like, a dialogue's open now. Hey, look at the guitar.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite recovered from the attack.
She looks like she had a rough day. Well, let's put this piece of evidence away for later. Alright.
I mean, I don't know why you would be able to read a newspaper, but...
How about this igniter, eh? No, nothing? Okay. Pretty sure none of this would be... Okay, Nope, everything else he's already checked out, so... Okay. What is this?
Well, they call it Borginian. It must only be found in Borginia. For certain, all in Borginia know of these.
It's a cocoon. So,
do you get silk from it? I do not know the details, I am sorry to say.
I thought you said all in Borginia knew of these.
There is one fact I do know about the cocoon, though.
Something all in Borginia know.
What's that?
The cocoons, they are not to be taken out of the country. And a replica was taken out of the country.
It's a replica. So?
If someone does and is caught, they will be put to
Death. Ooh.
death!
Why?
I do not know. Yet if Interpol was involved, I'm sure there is a good reason.
But this is just a piece of plastic. He was carrying a replica, but looking for the real deal. That's my best guess.
So, that's what he was up to.
Tracking down Borginian cocoon smuggling.
Smuggling?
Yes, smuggling.
It happens much when it comes to the crack cocaines. It seems I was marked.
Marked?
Life changed for me when the popularity of my songs, I began to travel around the world. Ah, so you could have brought these Borginian cocoons with you.
Unlikely, but sure.
On my trips, yes. That was probably the suspicion.
And Mr. Latouche was placed as an undercover agent to look into it.
Borginia is a small, sheltered country. Not many of our people venture into the world outside.
Is that why they suspected you? But Mr. Latouche wasn't a Borginian, was he? He was an Interpol agent, which means... What, Apollo? There must be some reason why Borginia doesn't want those cocoons getting out. Something scary enough to get Interpol involved.
Did these cocoons carry disease?
That's all I can think. Some sort of a horrible terror attack involving with, like, bioweapons.
Like what?
Like I said,
how could such a tiny ball of thread cause such a commotion?
Cocoon smuggling. And Mr. Latouche had Lemoire marked. It couldn't be her. Huh? There's one other person I need to talk to. Now, thank you for talking to us, Lamar.
It was the least I could do.
Actually, I have another request.
If it is within my power.
I need an interpreter. Someone who speaks Borginian.
Apollo?
Would you come with us? If you're well enough?
I see. Yes, of course. I shall accompany you.
Where are we going? Come on, Jersey. We're about to get to the bottom of this. Yay! He's got no excuses now. Hello, sir. Machi, we came to talk to you about the case.
Machi.
Hello. Could you interpret for us, Lamar?
Yes.
Machi, I'd like to talk to you about when we first met. When we still thought you were blind. Very silent bastard. Now we know the truth. You can see, right?
I was completely fooled myself.
Machi, isn't there another secret you're hiding from us?
Wait, Mr. Attorney. What do you mean by secret?
Speak up, you bastard. What do I mean by secret? Well... What would be the secret, I guess? Probably not the replica. I mean, okay. I mean, I got a lot of things that I'm sort of skeptical with this little bastard about. I mean, like, the first thing that really... Alright. You're a lawyer! No. Oh, that is a waste of a turn. So I will not. No. Secret. Thing is, a lot of these things could be tied into a secret. I mean, one of the first things I kind of think is the fact that this device was in his piano, and a lot of people were saying just like, oh, it couldn't have been inside the piano at the time. I feel like it could have been. Though that might not have anything to do with what he's doing. This might have everything to do with the magician. And he might not have known about the trigger.
Screw it. If I'm not mistaken, you know something about this, don't you? Hello! That's a good response. Hey, you got a reaction! A big one! Machi, you didn't... Tracy and I are trained to see people's uncertainty. Not that we would have needed any training to see that one. Mr. Attorney, please tell me... Lamar, please interpret! Very well. I know you know something about this by your reaction. If you won't tell me, I might have to give it to the prosecution. And have them look into it. He asks you to... Wait. Do not be so hasty. Machi? Do you know everything? Yes, everything. Well, sort of. Have him tell us about it. Very well. Yay! Finally! He's gonna open his damn gob. What have you been smuggling, you asshole? What is this cocoon, anyway? The cocoon, the silk, is a potent cure. A cure? Okay, I could see some pharmaceutical companies not being happy if there was a very potent cure. I could see that just being like, oh god, we're not going to be making as much money on this pill. A cure? Must cure some disease. It cures blindness. Oh. I'm sorry. The name is amazing. It is a cure for incuritis. A cure for incuritis. That sounds made up, madam. Okay. And what is incuritis? What is it caused by? But if it's a cure, why keep it in Borginia like that? Just think of all the lives they could save by sharing this medicine. I do not understand the reasons myself. Okay, well, at least we know what it is. A cure. And Mr. Latouche was after cocoon smugglers. Wait, was Machi it? Machi, you weren't... He couldn't be a smuggler! He's so little! Well, you're only 15 and you're sort of a magician, aren't you? Well, that's true. I am sort of a magician. She said sort of. Oh, to have a copy of that security camera tape. Just post that and have it on a constant loop in the office. Well, Machi, are you a smuggler? He won't tell me. First he plays blind, now he plays dumb. I wonder, do you think he brought a cocoon here to sell it to someone? If Machi really did bring one into the country, was he planning on making a deal for its sale? I can't go home. You can't go home? I can't go home to Borginia. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a cocoon from Borginia is death. Oh, that's right. It's punishable by death. About the case. What about the case? He wants to tell us about Mr. Latouche's death? This meeting's over. Who? What? Oh, hey, sir. It's Darian? What do you mean? Visiting hours aren't over yet. There's a call from Machi being from the Borginian embassy. This meeting's over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry. No go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Darian, wait! I never liked you. Either of you. Oh, great. One final stab in the chest. Great. Darn it! We were so close! He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo.
He didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say.
Apollo!
And there can be only one reason why.
Why is everyone ignoring me?
No, oh, sorry. This is it. I know who I'm after now. It all happens tomorrow. In court.
To be continued. Okay. I'm gonna go a little while longer tonight. It's because I have a strange suspicion that we are getting real close to the ending of this. That, and I've had a whole lot of short Phoenix Wright... Oh, no, not Phoenix Wright. Ace Attorney streams, as of late. Sorry. I still associate the Ace Attorney series with Phoenix Wright. I clearly have a favorite. July 10, 949, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Well, this is it.
Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday.
This meeting's over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry. No go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Darian, wait! I never liked you. Either you. Yes, we saw that. Darn it! We're so close! He was just about to tell us! Hey, Apollo.
He didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say. And I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice.
Bang! Whoa, no! No, not more guns! What was that? He is heard but unseen. What? Who's that talking? Oh, hi! Violent Gramarye! Oh, yeah. Using the door like an average muggle, no less. You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valen? Ah! A preposterous proposition. How could I stand to stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking. I might even have to sign autographs. That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day. Oh, with the vanishing magic? Indeed! I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next tower over. But before I go, a word of warning. Muggle? I guess Apollo reads Harry Potter. Maybe, perhaps. Muggle. Now, I feel like that's a term from other things, right? I don't know. It's sort of like Harry Potter's got a lot of elements into it that I'm sure have been in 12,000 other stories before it, but it formulated them well. Warning? What? A grand Gramarye glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth.
A glamour?
A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell. Goodbye, sir. And there he goes. Muggle is Harry Potter term. Person with no magic. Ah. Yeah, interesting. Sure seemed happy about the illusion thing. Use the door like a normal person. Pretty much. Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show with that one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually it involves cutting up things, or the Eiffel Tower, anything really. So was he talking about what we saw at the concert? Lamar's disappearing act. And Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar. I wonder what he meant by being at the root of all that has happened. Does that cocoon cure... I mean, it cures incuritis. I'm trying to think if maybe that has something to do with somebody. In some capacity involving with him. Maybe. Well, it's about time. Shall we go? Ah, excuse me, sir. Yes? The scheduled start and time for the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. Did something happen? This is a first. It was by the judge's request. Some urgent personal business. Great. I bet he stayed up too late last night, watching courtroom dramas. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. The hospital? I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. I wonder what he has.
Apparently his condition worsened considerably this morning.
The Chief Justice's son?
Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning? The judge said he had to go visit him after the trial. There's an article about it in the newspaper. Yeah, if you care to read about it yourself.
Here. Yep, Incuritus. Where have I heard that before?
I'll let you read that article for us, Apollo. Just leave the TV guide page to me.
Try not to lose the page with the funnies if you can.
Oh boy, okay. So, who is the judge's son?
My apologies for the delay. Court is now in session for the trial of, how do you say this name again?
Machi Tabai, our suspect fortissimo.
Is he even allowed in this country anymore? Is this just all moot?
Right? It's his trial, in any case. The defense is prepared, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready to rock.
Oh, it's not the judge's son. Oh, it's Chief Justice's. Sorry. Brr. My bad, getting my terms mixed up.
Is something wrong, Your Honor? No. Well, yes. It's just... I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time.
Incuritus, was it? That article said there's no known cure.
Judge, let me say, with all honesty, I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law.
Indeed. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday.
I asked Interpol about that number. IPXX 314-206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Latouche.
Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescend. It's a great help.
Ah, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. Hold it.
Dabba-da-doo.
Wait! That voice just now! It was him, I am sure of it!
It was him?
That voice I heard, talking to Mr. Latouche, when I heard the gunshots fired! It was him! It was Mr. Darien!
No way.
Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Darien would guest star in the season's cliffhanger as a suspect?
I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings.
Darien Crescend is a member of my band, the Gaviniers. He is also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet, after the investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case or file new charges.
And your reason is?
Weren't you aware, Forehead? He has an impeccable alibi.
An alibi?
Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Gaviniers ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guest took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lamar, and along with a drummer and bassist for, goddammit, the shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the third set.
Let me speak, dammit!
Lamar and the defendant, Machi Tabai, had left the stage at that point, and the Gaviniers were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Skye, mind you.
And Apollo. You heard them too, right?
I sure did.
Furthermore, Lamar herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime, but she claims to have heard Mr. Latouche and Detective Crescend talking.
But that's impossible. Detective Crescend was...
Precisely. Detective Crescend was on stage getting his groove on, no less. Voila. A perfect alibi.
Does the defense have anything to add to this? It's true. When I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up.
Clavier is going to break the wall. Man, not until something really extravagant happens.
It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Darian Crescen's alibi has been acknowledged.
Which means Lemoire was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true.
Very well. Of course, if we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no objections...
Apollo, if he declares a verdict now...
Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Lamar might have been lying to protect Machi. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center?
About the case. What about the case?
He wants to tell us about Mr. Latous's death.
His meeting's over.
Yes, he cut him off.
Darian?
Machi was trying to tell us something, I know it. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him. Under oath. Very well. The court finds the defendant... oh, God, what was his name again? Your Honor! No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marcus or Mr. Justice. Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness.
Exactly who else do you need to hear from?
A witness who, until now, has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English.
You don't mean...
I do. The defense calls defendant Machi Tabai to the stand. What? But he doesn't speak English. We'll use an interpreter.
Interpreter? I'm afraid you have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as, I love you, and where's the toilet?
The defense would like to request Lemoire as the interpreter. Lemoire? But there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant. But she'd be interpreting the defendant. Why would she lie? This is most unusual.
Bravo, forehead. Yeah, Judge. The prosecution agrees with the defense request. If Lamar lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that.
Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal. Finally, some progress. Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lamar to the witness stand.
Those two phrases are all you need when visiting a foreign country. Yeah, that's about right. I think if I ever visit a foreign country, I'm going to try my best to learn a little bit more than those two phrases. Because I've found there's a lot of countries, like, if you go and you visit them, it's actually very admirable on many levels to not only know the language, like, to some kind of extent aside from those two phrases, but... actual, written words or something to that degree. I've actually heard of a lot of people tell stories about how they've gone to places like Japan, France, things of that nature, and there are some people, they'll give you a hard time just because you are clearly an American. But then sometimes if you do know the language, they'll just be like, I appreciate that you learned for the sake of being able to communicate. I know you were kidding. I know you're kidding, but they are two very, very important phrases. And I will say, I will learn a lot more than just basic phrases before I go somewhere. Like, for example, I've thought about going to Japan just because for the weeb sake of it. Although, yeah, I don't know. I think that would be kind of fun. I don't know. Some other places too. One or two. I thought about going to Italy too, because Italy... I've seen some amazing architecture there, and I would love to just sightsee, take some photos. But anyways, enough about world travel with BitB. Let's move on.
Suppose there was a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name to begin with, if you would, Lamar?
Yes. He says, Machi Tobai, the defendant.
This is certainly a first for this courtroom. It's almost like you are a dummy and you are the interpreter. ventriloquism. Not that we really needed an interpretation of that message in particular. So far, so good. Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would.
If I would what, Your Honor?
Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about?
What do I want him to testify about?
I hadn't thought about that far yet.
Apollo! Aren't you going to ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday?
How can I if I don't know what he was asking?
Excuse me a moment, if I might speak.
Yes, Lamar?
Just now, Machi said there is something about what he wishes to testify.
Machi wants to testify about something. What could it be?
What sort of testimony is he talking about?
One moment, please.
The suspense is killing me.
What?
What? What? Well, Lamar.
According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence.
Good news for me.
This is a surprise.
Yahoo! Victory! Apollo, we did it!
Do not raise the sails of victory just yet, okay? This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means.
Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. Lamar, I mean, Machi, please testify to the court.
Very well.
Proof of innocence. How are you innocent of this crime?
He says that word of Mr. Latus's death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, he could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them.
Well, we better hope that we can't prove that you know English.
I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely.
I wonder what he meant by proof. Why, he would only have to ask Lamar to know the meaning of that song.
Lamar, did you ever explain the lyrics of the song to him?
I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked.
Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? Lamar might be protecting the witness.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would.
Yes, Your Honor. Something's hidden in that testimony. I know it. I'll just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where. It worked yesterday. It'll work today.
Okay. Is the bracelet working on a constant basis right now? It appears it is. Here. I'm a save. Okay. What part of this would probably have some weird thing? If the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, I could not have done it. Because the lyrics are in English. He does not understand them. Let's just cut right to the heart here. Is that true? Alright. Because... Hello. Looking to the side, are we? Gotcha. Interesting. Look at me when I'm talking to you, bastard.
Machi, you can't fool my eyes. You glanced toward her the very moment Lamar said the word English. Why?
And don't bother interpreting that, he understands me.
Machi, tell the truth. You can understand English, can't you?
What are you saying? Of course he can't.
Let's continue with the charade. Mr. Justice, Machi says this. I know the word English.
Nah.
Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English. He learned the name for this language. That is all.
What? Give me a break!
Is that such an unusual word to understand? Do you not know Espanol, for instance?
Well, yeah, but...
I am sorry, but he truly does not understand your language.
Well, then explain this! How does he know the crime followed the lyrics?
Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? It is simple. So simple, it hardly requires an explanation. He read about it in the newspaper.
What goddamn newspaper? Hold on a minute, hold up. So, you'd have to read it in this one. Problem is, I probably couldn't actually read this myself, so I couldn't follow up with that. I don't know.
The Borginian Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know.
And that's weird.
They have already begun to report about this case in our homeland.
I was right.
What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they are quite fierce all of a sudden.
Machi is lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying. Okay. He doesn't mention the lyrics of Lamar's ballad. I have here a Borginian newspaper. The Borginian Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. Indeed. There's a feature article about this case. Could you read this for me, Machi? That's right. Doesn't mention the lyrics.
What is this all about?
I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in a Borginian newspaper. Okay. You gonna start talking for yourself, you bastard? What does this mean?
But I don't see how it's possible. I know he must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning, yes?
Not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning. I read the full report myself.
So, the lyrics weren't in the newspaper, and the police didn't mention it. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less. The witness will explain himself.
Machi says... He says...
Yes?
It is true I read the newspaper. But this is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember.
You remember?
He says he heard of the lyrics from me.
When? What? Is this true, Lamar?
Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself.
And it looks like your forehead's been jumping to conclusions again.
It seems so, yes. No. No! I was onto something. I know it. I can't let this chance slip away. Time is an issue today, Mr. Justice. Are you finished with the cross-examination?
What are you gonna do, Apollo?
If I'm gonna keep on cross-examining, I'd better have an angle of attack. Or else... My bracelet's still reacting. Your Honor, please allow me to continue. If you must, you must. Very well. Witness.
I understand.
Alright, it was I who explained the crime following the song. I assume this is probably what we're doing the thing for, but first... Saves. Right. It was I.
who explained that the crime followed the song.
Hold the phone. Oh, I see that okay. I think we figured it out. It's not he and him that we're supposed to be paying attention to. We're trying to pay attention to her. That took me a while, but alright. It was I who explained it. Really?
Lemoire, I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain?
Me uncertain?
Yes, you swallowed the very moment you told the court.
It was I who explained. I see there is little point in trying to hide anything from you.
Lemoire, are you indeed protecting someone?
That is not a question with a simple answer. To tell the truth, I do not believe it myself.
Then allow me to answer for you. Lemoire, you're protecting...
Oh boy. Who would she be protecting? I mean, the obvious answer would probably be Machi. Unfortunately.
Lemoire, are you protecting Machi? That's why you lied and told us that you had explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Machi, I believe you didn't do it. Really, I trust you. But you've lied to us twice. And now you have Lemoire lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you have to trust me too. Your two lies cover a simple truth. You understand English. You have to. Yeah! Got him.
Again, can you finally start speaking?
Witness, is this true? Do you understand English?
Yes, a little only.
Finally. Jeez. What?
First he could see, now he can talk. And you did not know about this, Lemoire?
No, I did not. It is quite a surprise.
How many secrets is this witness hiding?
Last. This is last.
Machi, could you tell us what really happened?
No shooting! I did no shooting!
So you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those two gunshots, correct?
Apparently the answer to that question isn't simple either.
I was in dressing room, behind desk, manager. He on floor.
Which would be after the shooting, right?
Then there is voice.
Voice?
Our voices? Was it you and Emma, Apollo?
So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Latouche had already been shot. And then we came to the door.
Panel high up. I take off. Run away! Run away!
So it was you who escaped through that air vent.
As the prosecution has held all along, no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Let me take this as a confession.
No! He's clearly denied that he did it.
I know shooting. Manager on floor. Already on floor.
The victim had already been shot, you say. I find that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter.
Dear. Oh boy. Does the defendant have anything to say to this? He's climbed up Apollo. Then let's ask Mr. Justice. Will you require any further testimony from this witness?
Is that it? Is there nothing else I can get him to testify about? Wait. No, of course there is. What is this cocoon, anyway? The cocoon, the silk, is a potent cure. A cure? Well, Machi, are you a smuggler? He won't tell me.
That cocoon has to have something to do with this. Machi, please, tell us the truth for your own sake.
No. No more speak. Not to any of you.
So much for your precious trust, Aeroforehead.
Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him.
Regardless, this brings us to an impasse.
It does seem the defense and the defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. I see no other course but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we might proceed.
Let's see if that's even possible. July 10th, 11:23 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby, number 2. Apollo Eustace.
That's justice. Better learn how to say it if you ever want to get some.
Believe, I know shooting.
Machi claims Mr. Latouche was already down on the ground when he entered the room.
Maybe it was a trap and he walked right into it. Suddenly, I hear revolver. Close. Very close. Then I hear voice.
You heard gunshots?
Yes, it's true. I hear revolver, but only sound.
Wait, you're saying you went into the dressing room and found Mr. Latouche already dead, and then you heard shots? If that's true.
So, you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those shots?
And you escaped through the air vent?
I know.
What do you know?
I know if I open a vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
So the vents went to both the stage and the backstage area. Is that what he means?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Hey, he's right.
Look, Apollo.
Yeah. But how did you know it was connecting like that?
Wait, I bet his father was the architect who designed the hall or something. That's too complicated. Maybe it was just like oh, I hear this from Magician. Oh, okay.
Magician?
Don't look at me!
A magician, huh?
Well, at least we're clear on one thing. Machi didn't shoot Mr. Latouche.
Yeah, but what does that leave us with?
We're supposed to say he went into the room to find the body, and then he heard the shots. That one's gonna go over well in court.
Not.
Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies. That's what Daddy always tell me.
I just pretend you misheard them. Every time. So, what do we do?
You're sure you won't testify, Machi? No talking. No.
Well, it was worth a shot. That cocoon.
I can't go home.
Can't go home?
I can't go home to Borginia. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a cocoon from Borginia is death.
That's right. It's punishable by death. Of course. He's scared. Oh, well. I guess we'll just have to try a different approach.
That's the spirit, Apollo. So, what's your plan?
If Machi won't testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify.
Someone else?
I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there.
Right! Who else is going to be able to testify for this? Who could have potentially been a part of the whole cocoon smuggling?
Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant? Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk. Very well. So, will he testify?
Your Honor, the defendant will not testify.
What?
Shame. And here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around.
Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor.
A different angle.
If Machi won't testify, then I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Lemoire.
Lemoire?
What are you up to now? I thought we determined yesterday that Lemoire's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can...
Lemoire was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries.
What happened?
She was assaulted, Your Honor.
Assaulted?
Someone wanted Lemoire dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself.
What? I've heard no such report.
Prosecutor Gavin, why would anyone be out to kill Lemoire? Can you think of a reason?
Well,
Think of how she's known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could that have been?
You don't think...
I do. It was the same person who shot Mr. Latouche. The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out.
so am I to understand that this is what you're saying? Namely, that there's a nugget of truth in Lemoire's testimony? A nugget we have yet to uncover?
Exactly.
If Lemoire was attacked, this has serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lemoire's testimony once more.
Is it the same one, or is she going to retool it?
Lamar, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak.
You need not apologize. I know that Machi is innocent, and I will do all that I can until the court realizes this.
Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window, and that the voice belonged to Darian Crescend, yes?
That is correct.
At which point I proved she could not be correct. She couldn't have heard of any of those things. The small window at the scene was closed and was found to be quite soundproof.
Here, you have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice?
I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there.
There is, it seems, much you do not know.
And yet it is my duty to hear him out. So fuck me. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to the court.
Of course, Your Honor.
Okay. So, again, let's see.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. That's when I heard them, Mr. Latouche and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. There was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window.
Hello. I think I've put it together just now. I think I got it.
Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony.
I am sorry. I am not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Yet everything I have said here is the truth.
Then it is my distinct displeasure to say this. What you have said to have happened is impossible.
Do I have to repeat myself? Lamar was attacked because of this testimony. What? Trissy?
Apollo, you know, for a moment there, you're pretty cool.
Shut the hell up. Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness. These freaking young terms, I don't understand them. I've been alive for eons and I don't understand your lingo.
Okay, I think I actually know what's going on here. But we're going to see where we go with this. Basically, I think I have proof as to how it was she heard what she heard. Okay, I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. I'll just press everything, because why not? Is something wrong? I raised an objection. But she's saying the same thing she said before. Mr. Justice! Sorry, it's nothing. Please continue with your testimony. Now I know what they mean about the reckless youth these days. Goddamn confangled, cool, hip youngsters.
The one in red over there is a shining example, eh, Judge?
You're the last person who should be pointing fingers, Mr. Rockstar. I heard them, Mr. Latus and a detective. Darian Crescent? I did not know his name at the time, but yes, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday.
How many times do I need to remind you that's impossible? There's no way you could have heard him, because the window at the scene was closed.
Is that why?
Of course.
Apollo, if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere. She's right. Maybe there's a different angle I can try. What were they talking about? Lamar, did you by any chance remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us. I have given it much reflection, but... I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember. I only heard one phrase clearly. A whole phrase?
You remember something that was said?
Why didn't you say anything yesterday?
Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what was said.
This could be it. The clue I've been waiting for. Well, what did he say?
It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Latus.
The shooter, then... Darian Crescent. Well, what did he say?
It's over. Press the switch. Now.
Switch? And the shooter said this to the victim, Mr. Latus?
I thought it quite strange myself afterwards.
It is a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this?
I mean, sure. Very, very vital. Maybe we could add that to the testimony.
Maybe, Apollo?
Hello. From the small window, I heard a voice say, "Press the switch now." Well, the only switch that we actually have available
is this one.
Oh boy.
Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words.
Uh-huh. Yet there was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch, save the lights.
True, there wasn't a switch at the scene. But it just so happens I have a switch right here. That certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it? The problem is, this was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage. The stage? Where the concert was held, yes. This was found hidden there.
On the stage.
Are you claiming that the voice Lemoire heard was of someone commanding another to press the switch? It's a possibility. Yes, sir. I see where we're all going here.
Oh, our forehead. I call that an impossibility.
Why?
It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert. The stage is quite far from Loire's dressing room. Not to mention that the Gaviniers were in the middle of a concert on stage. We are known for being quite band. You could shout all you want and not be heard.
The detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout.
So, too, have our foreheads' cries of possibility fallen far short of being heard?
No, they have not, you fuckbag. Sorry. But he wouldn't have needed to shout.
Excuse me?
You heard what I said. Or do you need me to shout it out for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage from that dressing room. Oh, wait. You like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this, it would be easy to get a message to someone on stage from the dressing room. Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this.
What? That's...
What is it? Is that some sort of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking?
It will be within about 10 years from now. This is a type of transmitter, a communications device.
Communications device? Stop speaking a foreign language and please explain this. I didn't know you knew Borginian.
From what I've heard, that night, everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Professor Gavin?
Yes, actually, they're for talking between band members. We all had one on.
So you admit that if you were wearing one of these, talking from the backstage to the stage would be simple.
True, but wait. Those send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems, their range is quite limited.
Lamar said it was about 30 feet, right? Look at this cross-section diagram of the concert forum. Exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far, but the direct distance is less than 30 feet.
That can't be...
So when Lamar heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage.
There we go. He's innocent. I think. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
You're claiming the switch in question? Why did that have to be on the stage at the time? It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hid it on the stage after the fact.
Hey, he's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice? When the shooter said, press the switch?
Well, I guess we don't. An unfortunate situation. I'm afraid that until we know where the switch was, rather, there's little point in debating it. I was sure this was the way to go with this.
What is this switch anyway? We don't even know that basic fact.
I do.
Wait a second. I do know what this switch is. And if you follow that train of logic to its incredible conclusion, it ends up in proof that completely changes this case.
What's up, Apollo? Apollo?
We know about this switch, right? We know what it is.
Yeah.
Well, think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened. Well, Mr. Justice,
I'm pretty sure I know exactly where we're going with this, but I know what the term, well, Mr. Justice means. And I'm doing good, so.
If you have no further information to share concerning the switch, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Justice?
I've been remiss I'm not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is.
Well, it seems the defense is set upon linking the switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of the link. What evidence do you have to explain what this switch is?
Well, sir, it's a video game console that is used mobilely for everybody to be able to play. Anywhere, anytime. Goddamn, I wish I had some kind of advertising with Nintendo, but they would never bring me on board. Ever, 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 ever. I say the word fuck too much. Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this?
The what? Is it another one of those newfangled phones?
Yes. Put it up to your ear. Let's test it. This is an igniter. What phone looks like this?
Igniter? You mean it's like a lighter?
Come to think of it, you know, if we're talking about Samsung, this could absolutely be one of their phones. Topical reference. Yes, actually.
You aren't saying the switch is a remote?
I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter.
What?
Look, I'll show you.
Mr. Justice, you will cease and desist from burning down this courtroom. Sorry, there was a bit more fire than I'd expected. If my whiskers had caught on fire... Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. This switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you?
You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you?
Oh! Exactly. That night at the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. My guitar caught fire in the middle of the act at Deservity. Wasn't that part of the stage show, though? Nope. Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned, and the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake.
That's right, he got it in Virginia for Memoir. He said that sound was amazing, before it burned, of course. Now it's just kind of smokes.
The better the guitar, the brighter it burns. Yeah, forehead?
Yes?
Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together. Those being the shooter's voice, heard by Lamar, and the guitar suddenly catching on fire.
I am. It's really simple when you think about it. Mr. Latouche and the shooter were at the crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed, and the guitar caught fire. Well, that does seem to make sense. Although, something about it is bugging me. Can't quite put my finger on it. Really? Seems pretty simple to me. I think I know where we're going with this part, but I think I can defend against it.
Your forehead, don't destroy what little respect I have for you.
And I think he might know too.
I was expecting something a little more sensible. I guess I was wrong.
What's this all about, Prosecutor Gavin?
This simple story simply makes no sense. Think. That night my guitar caught fire, yes? The cause may have been this indeed. However, the guitar caught fire during the second act.
That's right, of course. The guitar caught fire during Lamar's song.
Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set. The two are utterly unrelated.
Yes, that must have been what was bugging me. The whole premise for this is faulty.
See, his story makes no sense.
Are you sure about that? What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice? Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far. What premise is this specifically?
I'm glad you asked.
I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act.
What's this? But Detective Emma Skye heard shots and found the body. All of this happened in the third act.
Gunshots rang out, and according to his testimony, Machi was in that dressing room at the time. Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice? Stay with me, Your Honor. He also told us this in his testimony, namely, that the victim had already been shot. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting.
This is insane.
Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. We know that a remote trigger igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act.
What?
Aha, interesting. Order! But that goes against the evidence! What does, Your Honor? The crime was carried out according to the lyrics of that song, yes?
Hey, yeah, he's right. Look, the bullet is supposed to come after the fire.
You're thinking about it the wrong way.
Huh?
Look, why would the shooter craft the evidence of the day to follow the lyrics anyway? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through, with little merit for the person doing it. Well, I'm sure whoever it was had some reason. Yes, they did. A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics.
You're saying the order was reversed on purpose?
reversed, Prosecutor Gavin.
If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flames. Yet, your forehead has raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet came not after, but just before the fire.
Couldn't have put it better myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flame. That was the criminal's objective. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was the ruse. Why else would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? That was the final touch to make us think he followed the lyrics the whole way.
Order! 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 Everybody is so loud, it's louder than the performance in here. That would explain this most unusual situation.
It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not the second.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all. Oh, it sounds good, I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered to following the lyrics of my song. But I question your logic, for it's flawed from the very beginning.
Flawed?
Yes. A contradiction, rather, aforehand. One I've pointed out several times, no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How could Lamar have heard a voice through it?
Oh.
I know that you would like to divert our attention from this critical fact, but you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise.
Right. Lamar's testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice. What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo? Look, what do we have? Look, what do we have? A man saying, press the switch. And near the crime scene, we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. It can't all be coincidence, but how do I make it work?
I see a more direct line of questioning is required. Well, the crime scene was investigated immediately after the crime. That window was closed. Care to tell us how Lamar heard the voice?
A key point to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court?
Okay, Justice. You've got one thing to prove, and one thing only. Lamar heard a voice. And she heard it during the second set. Think, how was Lamar able to hear the voice? The window was open. She has defied. Something tells me it's not that one. And something tells me this is not it either. But just in case, I'm going to save. This must mean she was somewhere else. When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it, had it been opened either, meaning it was impossible to hear the voice through that window.
It's good to hear you making sense again. For a moment, I was afraid you might be a Borginian too.
I've already made that joke. As I was saying, Lamar could not hear the voice through the window. So there can be only one explanation. She heard the voice from another location entirely.
What's this?
You do amuse me so. And here I thought your good sense was back on sparkling terms. Now, I'm afraid you and good sense speak two entirely different languages. Shall I interpret for you, Airford? Lamar clearly stated she heard the voice through that small window. And there's only one small window at the scene.
Are you sure? Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene? There is!
I know that look. He wants us to ask him. Okay, very well, all right. You claim Lamar heard the voice from another location. Mr. Justice, show us where this location was.
I know I saved before, but I'm going to save again. Just because I feel like I might actually be wrong about this. I'm not sure where that window is. Lamar heard a voice from here. Okay, so it has to be... What would make the most sense here? Because I'm thinking there is only one window in this room. I think what we're trying to deduce here is where she actually heard it from. And if I have to take a guess, it would probably be at the door, actually. No? Okay, apparently I'm wrong. Does this look like a small window to you, Mr. Justice? The state of modern society can be read from numerous objects and artifacts. In a sense, anything can be a window in our society. I didn't ask you to point out a window on society. I want a window on the crime scene! No points for trying. Lamar claims she heard the voice through a small window. And if the small window we know about was closed, there's only one other thing she could have meant. Okay. Screw it. Let's try. Nope. Shit. Speaker? Ah, crap. I'm gonna just go ahead. Oh, wow, it doesn't even allow me to pick the window in the room. It's just being like... Mr. Justice, you are absolutely, completely off your rocker. Window into the soul. Oh, wow, I fucked up. That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. The defense's case is insufficient to overturn this prosecution's claims. The court finds the defendant, Machi Tabai, guilty. Shit.
The bullet holes?
That would be weird. Pretty sure yeah. Thought it would be dumb to hear it for bullet. Oh my god, alright, that's it. How the hell? This is where Lamar heard that voice from. But that's no small window. That's the air vent! I'm confused. How'd she hear it from there? What did she tell us? She said she's a Borginian, unfamiliar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine she calls this air vent a small window. Kinda. It's kind of a stretch.
Now you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous. So Lamar was up in the ventilation system, listening to this man's voice?
That's the only logical explanation, yes. How did she climb up there?
Logical? I do not think this word means what you think it means, Airforehead.
Okay, what about it isn't logical?
It hardly merits saying. Why would Lamar be in the ventilation system? Hiding like a rat. And no offense intended to her, of course.
The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it, Lamar? You have been listening to our discussion here, yes?
Yes. I admit, it had me quite confused since yesterday. Yes, the small window was closed, but why would that mean I could not hear through it? I feared our prosecutor might himself need an interpreter.
Oh, that is biting. The problem here is words. Lamar, this small window through which you heard the voice, was it up high on the ceiling of the roof? Not low on a wall?
Yes, it was up on the ceiling.
What? Order, order, order! This is weird. Witness, you'll clarify this statement to the court. Are you in fact saying that you were up above the ceiling of the roof? And that's where you heard the moment of the crime?
Yes, in fact I was. I am sorry. I never imagined it would become such an important point.
Yes, well, why the heck were you up there? I believe it's time for another testimony.
I'm not sure I can't.
May I remind you, this is a murder trial. We will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of that room.
please. Well, looks like I'm on the right track. Everyone's starting to clam the hell up. Above the ceiling.
Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I had heard there was a small window there before. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I had heard.
Oh my god.
As to why I was there, I cannot say.
I know why!
I am bound to secrecy on this matter.
I know why! This is a cheap magician. Bound to secrecy?
In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold.
But you say you were in the middle of your performance? So this did happen during the second set?
I did not witness the crime, you must understand. I only know what I heard.
Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail.
That's what the cross-examination is for. Yeah, Herr Forehead? Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligations, no binding pact may hinder that mission.
Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
What are you going to do, Apollo?
I'm going to find out the truth. She was up above that ceiling for a reason. I just have to get it out of her. Again, I think I know. I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to get to that point. So I'm going to save real quick. Okay, so first of all, let me think about this real quick. Yes. Let me look at this evidence real quick. There was a small window there before. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I'd heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I'm bound to secrecy on this matter. Alright, there are several things that I could present that actually make, that matter to this, but I'm going to press things, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Above the ceiling? Could you be more specific?
I cannot.
Because you're bound to secrecy?
Yes. To tell the truth, I was not supposed to even say I was above the ceiling. I dare not say more.
Doesn't sound like I'll be able to coax it out of her just by asking.
I had heard there was a small window there before.
By small window, you mean the air vent?
I only remembered I needed to be careful of where I put my hands and feet. I cannot see the light coming through the window, of course.
The air vent grate could trip you up, certainly.
So I was walking very carefully when I heard the gunshots. Startled, I crouched and listened. That is when I heard his voice come from the room.
Darian's voice.
I knew something terrible had happened, yet it was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I had heard.
So, without a word, you just let the third set start?
After the curtain closed for the second set, there was still much to do.
You could have prevented this whole misunderstanding if you had only told us sooner.
Yes, perhaps I could have.
I see little point in badgering the witness. What's done is done. The mind works differently when one is in the middle of a performance. Why, I've lost my voice in the middle of a show and kept on singing, completely unaware.
Singing without a voice? If only all contradictions were so obvious. If only I could get Lamar to talk. Pressuring her like this doesn't seem to be getting me anywhere. I cannot say. You heard the gunshots during the second set, during your performance. You're quite sure?
Yes. Why would I lie about the time?
Why didn't you tell us this yesterday?
No one asked me. I thought you all knew. I told you Machi was not the killer. I told you this many times.
Yes, you did. but you never told us why.
I am sorry. I was not able to speak of it.
Unable or unwilling?
She's not talking, Apollo. What do we do?
We'll just have to prove it ourselves. As long as she's bound by this pact of silence, she won't talk. But if I can prove why she was up there, she'll have to admit it.
But how are you going to do that? She was singing on the stage, Apollo. She couldn't have been up above the ceiling, too.
Yes, she could. I've got a theory as to why, too. And maybe I've got the evidence to prove it. I think that is what I'm supposed to be pressing on. I am bound to, you know what, screw it. Let's try that. Present. And then, let me see. Lamar's own publicity postcard. Let me check this real quick. I mean, it's just the postcard. Let me see if, what would be good? What would be a good piece to show off? What would get the point across the best? Article about the case. It doesn't mention the lyrics or Lamar's ballad. Okay. Nothing particular. Maybe it does have to do with the postcard. Son of a bitch! Your Honor, the statement contradicts the evidence. It does. I don't see anything contradictory. You sure about that? Objection overruled. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Justice. Crap. Maybe it has something to do with the videotape. There we go! Okay. Screw it up a bit. Okay. Lamar, truth be told, the reason for your presence above that ceiling is quite clear. Especially when you consider what happened during your performance.
What happened?
Yes. It's all right here on this video.
Wraps itself around me, and now through the air I fly. Doom, doom, doom. Whoa, whoa. Goodbye. Burning on in my heart. Fire. I kind of wish the text was like moving in the same speed as the melody. Like that would help me sing along to it. I would love a bouncy ball. Just sing-alongs. Sing-along songs. Hello. Guitar, guitar. Yeah, you show off. I love Gavin in the back, just like, holy fuck, put it out, put it out. Yes, start speaking, madam.
As we can see, Lamar was clearly not on stage for her entire performance. Oh, though it saddens me to be so realistic. Lamar is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation. So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view. And during that time, she moved to the back of the form.
Apollo!
What, Jersey? It's not nice to reveal a magician's secrets, and it's against the rules. Whatever, I'm no magician. But I'm a lawyer. I'm not supposed to... Yeah, it's... This is all very fascinating. It's like some kind of a musical documentary. Please, keep talking. But how is it possible? There's only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast. Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin? This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed. Aha! He's just realizing his own oversight. Ta-da! Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here we can trace a route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage, through the backstage, to the rear of the forum. Recall Lamar's testimony from yesterday.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it.
She went from the stage to the backstage exit. A perfect description of this route above the ceiling. Lamar knew of this because of her part in the illusion, but she wasn't the only one who knew.
What?
Just now in the lobby, Machi told me something.
I know if opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
He said that? Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin?
I knew about the Vanishing Act, of course, yet I had no idea of the route that would be used. Why didn't that magician tell me?
Magicians only reveal details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of a magician's life, you know. Which is why he bound Lamar to secrecy. Well, Lamar.
I am impressed, Mr. Attorney. Machi was right about you.
So, what does this mean? Are you saying you used this route above the ceiling?
I did.
Well, that's that. But I'm still a little confused. Why is that, Your Honor? As I said before, a woman up and disappeared. There was very little time between when she disappeared and when she reappeared. 20 seconds tops. How could she do it? Especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice.
That's a good question.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I cannot.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Yes, it's all up to you. Do your thing. What thing, Your Honor? You need to explain how Lamar was able to teleport like she did, or I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater.
Why do I get picked on? It's Lamar who isn't going along with the program here.
As I have stated before, I am not at liberty to speak of the illusion that night in detail.
Then you'll just have to tell us what you can. We'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it will be your job to bring the truth out of her.
Yes, if you would, please.
Right. I feel like a student before finals.
Good luck, Apollo.
Yeah.
All right. So we only get basic information about the Grand Illusion, eh?
I followed the route exactly as I was instructed. There is an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side from the stage. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice.
Okay. 2 minutes, you say. The mystery deepens.
I suppose it was too much to hope that the judge would come up with something.
As does my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice.
Right, Your Honor.
All I have to do is find the contradiction between what Lamar is saying and what we can see plainly in the video.
I figured it out already. I am a magician after all.
Well, tell me.
Not a chance. I can't reveal another magician's secret. Come on.
You're supposed to be on my side here.
All right, the big illusion. Well, let's think about this logistically. I followed the route exactly as I was... I mean, the time of which was like... 2 minutes is way too much time, man. Emergency exit in the backstage where stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum outside the stage. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I don't think so. I really don't. Because in the footage, it clearly shows that she was there way before 2 minutes passed, so... I kind of want to say that's it, and I feel like the videotape is clearly proof of that. Fuck! This evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor.
How exactly are the evidence statement you were saying?
They aren't, are they?
Not at all.
Shit. Okay, it wasn't that. Alright, crap. Nah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little bit flummoxed about this one. I don't like the fact that you can't skip through this quickly. They made it very, very, very specifically so that you can't do that. Suppose I can just select try again, and it'll start me off right at the beginning of this part. And honestly, that actually saves me some health, so... I'm actually going to save right here. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yes, it can be done in 1 minute if you are running.
running in that cramped, dark tunnel above the ceiling?
Mr. Attorney, have you forgotten? Dark or lit, it makes no difference to me. That's true, but...
So, you're saying that on the night of the concert you made the trip in 2 minutes?
Yes, though I nearly didn't make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway.
Lamar disappeared on the video for 20 seconds. But she says she made the trip in 2 minutes. How?
If you want my professional opinion, I'll bet the answer's right there in that video.
Well, Mr. Justice, perhaps you have some evidence for us? Something that can explain the discrepancy between the video and her testimony?
Evidence explaining the discrepancy. How would that be done? How would she get there that quick in that short period of time? Because you'd have to get there in 20 seconds. So how do you do that and also overhear a sound at the exact same time? You used a cure for icaritis. I gotta have something. Maybe it has something to do with her brooch, because clearly it fell at one point. And this would explain the fact that she didn't actually open up the door before. It just fell through the vent. To light a fire under her ass and get her running. I'm going to save right here, and I'm going to test something. There's a part of me that feels like there isn't. What kind of evidence can prove that? What's your professional opinion? What's your personal opinion about this one, Trucy? Sorry, I don't work in evidence. And I don't work in tricks. I'm an attorney, not a magician, for crying out loud. Really? Sure, Daddy would have loved working on this. Thanks. That makes me feel, oh, so much better. Well, I don't know about all of you, but I find this mystery fascinating. And I'm not letting this trial go any further until we get to the bottom of it. The defense will continue with the cross-examination until we have some answers. Easier said than done. Present evidence, I guess. There's one piece of evidence that explains this discrepancy between video and the testimony. The tape itself?
Aha! So this is it! The magical key to unlocking the illusion's dark secret? Tell us how it works quickly. I can't bear the suspense.
I was kind of hoping someone else would jump in at this point.
Well, you see it...
Yeah, Judge, I do hate to spoil the mood, but I haven't the faintest idea what he's talking about, and neither does he. I'm a little confused too there, Apollo.
Right, by which I conclude that I was wrong.
Better luck next time, Pollywog.
Mr. Justice, I'm holding you responsible for spoiling my mood.
Was that a tear I just saw in the judge's eye? Key of the video somewhere. Okay, I'm sure of it. Alright. Damn it, okay. I don't even know if I have the... I don't know if I have the right... Like, this might be entirely wrong, and I might not actually have evidence. This might be one of those questions in Phoenix, right? Where it's just futzing around with you. Here, let's try and hold this, eh? And it was Darian's voice you heard?
Yes, I am certain it was him. Matter best left for later, yeah? Put that forehead of yours to work on this illusion first.
Hold on, I think the identity of the killer is a little more important, don't you? Important, smimportant, objection overruled. Tell us about the illusion!
No, he's trying to avoid the problem at hand, Apollo. Trying to avoid the problem? This is a murder trial. The killer is the problem. Alright. Approach. Whoa! What? That's right? Okay. I have no idea. I was just like, I don't know. Let's see. Lamar, do you happen to remember this brooch?
Aha! The brooch! We saw that yesterday, did we not?
It was found at the scene, Your Honor. And you're bringing this up now. Why? I thought we'd already determined when that was dropped. So did I. But we hadn't. Take another look at the video. Oh, that's what I was supposed to be seeing. Okay, I understand. So it shows the brooch, and then when you see it later, you notice, hey, The brooch is gone.
So she is. Let's look a bit later.
Yes.
What? The brooch! It's gone!
What? Yes. The brooch disappeared in the short space of 20 seconds. And it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can be only one explanation. The Lemoir we see before the Vanishing Act and the Lemoir we see after are two different people!
What?
The brooch was found on the floor at the crime scene. And not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Lemoir, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage? At the very moment you witnessed the crime? Yes, I think I did. Who's the second person then?
Prosecutor Gavin.
From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case, Judge. I, of course, knew about it. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it. It just never occurred to me that the switch and the shooting took place at the same time.
So, I was right. There was a switch?
There was. Just before the stage tower rose, Lemoir was replaced.
While we're on the subject, just who was this replacement Lemoir?
Why, the man behind the illusion.
Oh, wow. He was there? Oh, he was the one that was dressed in that? It was Gramarye? That's quite the illusion, but I still don't get one thing. Yes? The switch happened before the tower. Okay, so you weren't there. That's right. But this fake Lemoir is still singing. And she's pretty good. Well, lip syncing. God damn it.
That's true.
Come on, Apollo. That's an easy one. They were just playing a recording.
The Cavaliers aren't some kind of air guitar band, Fraulein.
Oh, you mean I'm wrong?
When we play a show live, we play live. No recordings. Perhaps you can explain, Lemoir?
Very well.
Yes. Do tell, and add it to your testimony.
I had to keep singing even while I moved.
Really?
You were singing? Yes. Mr. Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings, so I used this. Wait, so you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling towards the backstage? Why should it matter where I sing when everywhere I go it's the same darkness? Not a good point.
But if you were singing while you were walking...
That's right, wouldn't the shooter and the victim have heard? She was singing right over their heads, after all. That is right.
Are you sure?
You'd have to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling.
Once again, we come back to the state of the scene of the crime.
What state? Oh, I know what he means. That old speaker, Apollo.
The speaker?
That speaker was blaring at the time of the murder. That's for monitoring the stage from this room. Monitoring? It pipes in real-time feeds from the stage microphones. Useful for knowing when your set is coming up.
Satisfied. That dressing room was fitted with a large speaker playing a direct feed from the stage. At my request, actually.
So, Lemoir singing in the ceiling sounded just like Lemoir singing over the speaker.
Ingenious! Her voice was hidden by her voice.
Lemoir?
I've just remembered something.
Do tell.
When I heard the noise, the gunshot, yes, it startled me, so I stopped singing.
What?
I forgot the words I was supposed to sing.
The song stopped?
Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second verse, so not many would notice.
Forehead, that mixing board. I lent you. Where is it?
The mixing... Huh? The machine, Apollo. The one that breaks music into tracks. Oh, this? I'd completely forgotten about it. I didn't. I found it. Let's take a listen. Sugar, sugar. Oh, that night in your embrace. So, I guess she would have had to stop singing at a certain moment in time. Was it that part that was just, oh. I'm so tight. Pleasure. But a fleeting melody. Okay, was the word pleasure? Okay. The song does stop here. It does? I must have missed it. Look at the lyric sheet. Ah, at the top of the second verse. See where it says pleasure, pleasure? Now listen again. When you stole away the keys, my heart held on to it so tight. Pleasure. I forgot. But a fleeting melody. This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake. The crime didn't happen during the third set. It happened during the second, during Lemoire's ballad. If that is true, then no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter. Which means that Darian Crescend could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set, son of a bitch. Got anything to say about that, you bastard? Well, Prosecutor Gavin.
Fascinating. I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turn out quite so thoroughly. Yet, one problem remains.
What's that, Prosecutor Gavin?
Your Forehead's theory does not have a certain kind of logic to it. Yet it is entirely based upon Lemoire's testimony.
Yes? Is there a problem with this?
Well, it's quite simple, although it pains me to say it. What if she's lying to protect the defendant?
Damn it. But you have no proof.
All I'm saying is that the truth is as yet unclear, until we hear directly from the man himself.
The man? You don't mean...
Yes. Though he is a friend and band member, Darian Crescend must take the stand. I see no other way.
As someone with a new perspective on the case?
As a suspect, to be frank.
Oh boy. Usually when the actual person comes up, it tends to be actually true. So let's see. Finally, the rat's coming out of his hole. And I'm ready to catch him. Darian Crescend, get ready for justice. This is as good time as any to pause for a brief recess. The prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and ready by the time we begin.
I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are.
Very well. Court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess. Oh my god, another to be continued. My throat is a little bit on fire. And on top of this, also, I haven't actually had dinner yet today. So I kind of want to go do that. Like, as much as I don't want to keep going with this, like, it's dragging the fuck on. So, actually, I think I am going to save, and we're going to call it here. But I'm kind of hoping that this next trial, we're going to have a pretty long fight with Darian Crescend. I hope it's not just some flash in the pan being like, I didn't do it, here's proof. Oh, shit! I really genuinely hope not. I don't know. I wish this was spaced out a little bit better. But yeah, I've been streaming for about like 4.5 hours, so it's plenty. It's enough time, I believe. I think it's about time that I put it down for the night. But hey, it was fun. It's been wacky and stupid. Okay, so thanks everybody for popping into the chat just to say hello, joke around, have some funs. I appreciate it. If you wanted to take a look at this episode after it's done, I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut out a bunch of the flailing that I did and all the issues where I just couldn't figure out some answers. Or I'm going to cut them down so they're easier to watch. And then I'm going to upload them to the YouTube channel shortly after I'm done doing that. I stream on Saturdays, Sundays, and Wednesdays, all of them starting at around 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Other games that I'm currently playing, I'm playing Stardew Valley, which, I'm kind of thinking I might want to do tomorrow. Just because I'm very close to finishing the second year. I really want to try and finish the second year. And also, okay, so there's that. I'm waiting for them to finally announce some information about the Stardew Valley multiplayer edition, which I would love to try and play that on stream. That would be so cool. Some other things. Other games. So there's Apollo Justice, clearly. I've been in and out of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've kind of put that one aside just a tad. Other games, let me think. I know I had another one. What was it? It's been a very long Okay, random roguelikes. That's another thing I do. Like the other day, I did Binding of Isaac just on a whim. And damn it, I know I'm forgetting a game. Shit. Oh well. I don't know. I got some things on the docket and some things that I got lined up, and when that comes up, I will be sure to let you know. I don't know. I'm terrible when it comes to these endings. Like I've kind of always been, like beginnings, endings. Once I get into a game, I'm pretty good with it. But for whatever reason, just I've never really set up a structured and complete intro and outro. I don't know. I don't feel like I have to, but okay. Enough of me just rambling and ranting. I'm going to go ahead and go and make myself something to eat, and I'm going to have to eat and go to bed. That's not good. That's not going to be good for my stomach. I'm sort of debating on whether or not I want to try and make something. I guess I'll make that decision as I come to it. All right. I got to go. Again, thanks for coming out. See you next time.